Exciting, thrilling, awesome. Let's take a look.
What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets here, Rob, with another Mets pregame live and a Mets versus Athletics Game 2 live stream right here on the channel. Before we get started, guys, don't forget, guys, to please hit on that like button so we can get more people in the stream on this day, April 15th, Jackie Robinson Day around Major League Baseball. Every person, player, coach, wearing a jersey today will be wearing the number 42 to represent and honor Jackie Robinson. And Jackie Robinson Day is today, and it's one of the cool things that I appreciate about the game, the history of the game. We all know the story about Jackie Robinson and with the Brooklyn Dodgers way, way, way long ago, before most of us were alive, and it changed baseball for what we know it today. So everybody will be wearing 42, and that is always fun. It's really nice to see, honestly. Like, usually, you know, I think the last couple of years the Mets haven't played at home on Jackie Robinson Day, and they usually honor his wife every time the Mets play at Citi Field. And, you know, she is up there in age. I think she's 100 years old now. So, you know, hopefully she's, you know, still around the next time the Mets play home, because they usually honor her and her husband at Citi Field, which is pretty cool. But tonight, or this afternoon, the Mets Athletics. The Mets won 17-6 yesterday, and let's be honest, guys, the Mets better not lose a game to this Oakland A's team. They are, can you call them a Major League Baseball team? Because I don't even know if, I think there's about 29 other AAA teams that can probably beat that team that the Mets faced yesterday. 17 runs, 17 walks. It was just, I mean, it was a hard game to watch. And I'm not going to lie. And not only that, and even with the pitch clock, the game took 3 hours and like 27 minutes. So it was an embarrassment. And this is not just the A's and ownership's fault. This is Major League Baseball letting the A's continue to do what they have been doing to this organization. A fan base that has been loyal to many teams that have left the Oakland area. And it comes back to the fact that Major League Baseball missed the mark on this Athletics situation. The same thing where when the Mets had that situation with Madoff, and they were basically a part of a Ponzi scheme that they were lucky not to be in jail. Bud Selig, who were good friends with the Wilpons, basically bailed them out to continue to own the Mets because the Mets couldn't afford to pay for daily operations within the organization. But Bud Selig gave them a nice big loan, and they could pay it back over a long period of time. And this is the problem that I have with a lot of these commissioners. They let things get to the point where it's absolutely no turning back, and then it ends up what we saw last night against the A's. And I'm amazed this Oakland team actually has a win. Like, I just don't know how. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to be one of the most miserable human beings if the Mets lose a game to this damn Oakland A's team. I don't care if it's Carlos Carrasco on the mound. I don't care if it's you or me on the mound. You can't lose to this team. Just plain and simple. And the same way we beat the hell out of their pitchers yesterday, do it again today. Be patient, work hard, and get those quality at-bats like they did yesterday. Do that. Get that team out of the game. I talked about it last night on the stream. Make sure you take away their confidence and demoralize them. Confidence-wise, mentally, physically, any way you can. It just makes it easier for us to not have to deal with any type of stress when it comes to the Oakland A's, playing against the Oakland A's, right? I don't even know what you want to talk about yesterday's game. I just don't even know what to say about it. Lindor went off yesterday, 7 RBIs, hit a grand slam, and he played really well yesterday. And, I'm not going to, give a standing ovation for anybody that, especially a team like the Mets that are supposed to be having World Series aspirations, giving them a standing ovation for beating the A's. This is what they're supposed to do. And this is what they need to continue to do. And if they don't sweep this series, it's going to be a huge disappointment. And if they don't sweep this series, this is not going to help this team going into the next 7 games against the Dodgers and Giants. This is going to mentally hurt them, and it's probably going to be hard for them to recover. So they better win these next 2 games so they go into the Dodgers series at least confident. And we continue to talk about Brett Beatty. We continue to talk about Ronnie Mauricio, how they're just tearing up AAA. And Escobar's batting under 100. Vogelback is basically getting a walk or a strikeout. At some point, we have to start considering, is Billy Epler and Buck Showalter on the same page? Because, in my opinion, I do think that Billy Epler's on the hot seat. I don't see why Billy Epler is hanging around with Escobar and Vogelback like it's his last, it's on his last leash. Like, okay, if these guys fail, I'm done. I think Billy Epler wants to bring up Beatty and Mauricio, but I don't think he trusts Buck to play these guys because Buck is more veteran oriented. He lives and dies with the veterans. You've seen it even last year. As soon as Vientos went 0 for 3 in one of the games, you didn't see him for the next 3 days. And you even seen that with Beatty. Even though Beatty played, it was kind of a situation where the Mets didn't really have anybody else for third base when Guillermo and Escobar was out with injury. Beatty basically was the only guy. So Buck didn't really have anybody else to go to. In this situation, I don't think Billy Epler can trust Buck Showalter to play these guys. And I think Billy Epler is worried, and I think this is why it's taken so long for them to get called up. And it's because of the fact I don't think Epler trusts that Buck will make them play, because if you bring these guys up and you don't play them, you're sitting these guys on the bench. And then when they actually do get an opportunity like once or twice a week, what do you expect from a team, from a player that's been ice cold on the bench when they're used to playing every single day? So that's the thing that I do kind of worry about. Is it a little bit of a organizational like tug of war? You know, Billy up is saying, listen, I want to bring up these guys. Buck's like, no, I want to go with my veterans. And, you know, Buck can say, listen, we're 8-6 with the team we have right now. You know, he can say that. I don't agree with it, but he can say, listen, we're 8-6 right now and we're struggling. If we had a little bit more from one of these guys, who knows how much better our record would be. I think Buck's saying that to Epler. And Epler's like, well, you know, how long do I wait? Do I wait until May 1st? Because by May 1st, if we have a stretch after this road trip and, you know, we go 3-7, what are you going to do? You know, you're 5, 6, 7 games behind the Braves. The Phillies are catching us. And then what? Then you're going to be chasing the Braves the rest of it. It's not worth the trouble. But the problem is, I think Billy Epler is having an issue with Buck Showalter playing these guys. And I don't think Epler wants to bring these guys up and have them sit on the bench. So I think Epler is between a rock and a hard place. And that's where I think it is right now and why it's taken so long. And another reason why I think Billy Epler actually went down to Scranton Wilkes-Barre when they played the Yankees farm team to play, you know, watch those guys. I think he actually talked to these guys and told them why they weren't up yet. And I think Billy Epler is trying to save face with these prospects. And I wouldn't be shocked if Steve Cohen is probably going to make a final call on this situation. Because if you have your GM saying one thing and wants to do one thing and Buck doing another thing, somebody has to give. Because you can't have these guys in AAA tearing up the baseball when you have two guys that are hitting under 100 in Vogelbach and Escobar being terrible in the lineup, and you just cannot do anything and just, you know, play the chorus. It's just not what you're going to do. Yeah, well, Ken, I understand that, but Epler is not going to go into the dugout and say, Buck, play these guys. It's not happening. I mean, this is Moneyball all over again, right? It's with Billy Beane and Art Howe, right? When Billy Beane says, no, I want to play these guys, Harrison needs to play, not Pena, right? It's the same issue. And then Art Howe's like, I'm playing Pena. I got to play these guys because this is the way I know how to win, right? And then Billy Beane's like, well, analytics say Harrison's the best option at first base, even though Pena was a freaking all-star. You see what I'm saying? It happens that GMs and managers don't agree. Managers want the lineup card. GMs want control. Again, this is why Billy Epler's in a tough spot. If he brings these kids up and Buck is not playing these guys, what is Billy Epler going to do? Yell, scream, throw a chair across the room and says, you got to play these guys? Buck is going to laugh at him and says, get out of my office. So I'm looking at the comments, guys. Give me a second. No, I don't think it's old age with Buck. I just think Buck is in his ways. You know, the same way like Aaron Boone is in his ways. Like, you know, he looks at the analytics books and doesn't really go by his gut at all. That's Aaron Boone's flaw. I think Buck's flaw is he likes to stay with his veterans through thick and thin. And maybe that's, you know, the reason why Buck hasn't won a World Series. I mean, you could think of many reasons why, you know, but it also can be the player didn't get the job done. You know, we know the infamous time when you don't bring your closer in into a situation where you should have brought your closer in with Britain many, many years ago with the Orioles when Buck was managing them. Again, we don't know the real issue, but, with the Alvarez situation, you can tell that Buck would rather have Nito because he trusts him behind the plate, even if Nito gives no offense at all. But at some point, somebody's going to have to give. And, I think I don't know if Buck is going to bend, to be honest with you. But we'll see, right? At some point, they're going to have to make the move because you can't keep on rolling Escobar out there, which is he's not playing today. And we'll go over the lineup in just a second. I don't think that it's going to be much of a situation where there's going to be much argument anymore when these guys are not performing. You can't have Escobar in the lineup 5 days a week batting under 100. I mean, that's just despicable. If it was anybody else other than Escobar, he would have been either DFA'd or benched and replaced. And that's the problem. And that's the other thing. I think Cohen, what he talked about, I'm looking in the chat right now. What Cohen always talked about, he hires the baseball people and lets the baseball people do their job. The problem with that is that you have a situation like this where the GM and manager is probably not on the same page, and you need a buffer, and that is Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen ran in with the whole Correa situation without even talking to Billy Epler and talking to Buck. He just went after Correa when the Giants deal fell through. So that is something that you also have to look at as well. So Cohen does step in when he thinks he has to or feels like it. In this situation, I think he does. He's got to be the buffer between Buck and Epler. And until that happens, this might prolong into the end of May. Into the end of April. And that's the situation that I think Epler finds himself in, because I don't see why a GM has to go to Scranton Wilkes-Barre to see these guys play. When you see them rake, it's not going to change anything or his opinion on anybody. I think it was to tell these prospects, Beatty and Mauricio specifically, listen, I want to bring you guys up, but I don't guarantee you playing time because of Buck Showalter. I guarantee you Billy Epler tried to save face with these guys and say, listen, I don't think Buck's going to play you if you come up, if I send you up. And he might play the veterans. I think Billy Epler actually went there to say that face-to-face. Because if you're Beatty, if you're Mauricio, what else do you have to do to prove that you're at least ready? Again, you can bat a buck 50 in the majors, even though you bat 400 in AAA. But that doesn't really mean that these guys in Mauricio and Beatty understand why they're not being called up when they're doing everything they were told to do. Hey, you're not ready yet. Get more at bats and work on everything you have to work on. Well, they've done that. They've proven that they're well beyond the AAA experience. They clearly are, at the very least, they're quadruple A players until they can prove that in the major leagues. And that's the thing. I think the problem with the Mets right now. But we're gonna see again. Will they? I think I said this before the Oakland series yesterday. I think Vogelback and Escobar is on the clock. I think they're going to get this Oakland series to see what they can do. If they don't show no signs of life, I think they're going to make the call prior to the Dodger series. Because I think you can't go in there with 6 through 9, an absolute freaking disaster. So we got about 10 minutes until game time. Let's go over the lineup for tonight and the Mets. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. You guys know why it's important to hit on that like button. So let's get down to business. So the pitching matchups for today is, for the Mets, Carlos Carrasco. For the A's, Shintaro Fujinami, the Japanese pitcher. For the Oakland A's, and of course, Carrasco's trying to get some type of life on the mound, like just to show a pulse. That would be nice. Don't fall behind, in the first inning and let the Mets try to fight back here. All right, this is the A's here. This isn't Murder's Row. All right, let's go. So with that said, the New York Mets, Brendan Demolino playing center field, Starlin Marte playing right field, playing second. Francisco Lindor, shortstop, batting third. Pete Alonso playing first base, batting cleanup. We also have, hold on one second, I'm sorry. That kind of Took that off my screen. That sucked. All right, let me try this again. Oh boy. All right. So Jeff McNeil batting fifth. I'm sorry, guys. That was my fault. I lost my train of thought. Batting fifth, playing second base. Mark Hanna batting sixth, playing left field. Daniel Vogelback, DH, and batting seventh. Luis Guillorme getting another start, batting third, batting seventh. Batting eighth, excuse me. And Francisco Alvarez is catching, batting ninth. I still don't understand why Francisco Alvarez is batting ninth, but it is what it is at this point. He's in the lineup. At the very least, let us be happy that he's in the lineup. So once again, let me do this correctly. Brandon Nimmo leading off, playing center field. Starling Marte batting second, playing right field. Francisco Lindor batting third, playing shortstop. Pete Alonso cleaning up, playing first base. Jeff McNeil batting fifth, playing second base. Mark Canha left field batting sixth. Daniel Vogelback batting seventh and DHing. Luis Guillorme batting eighth and playing third base. And Francisco Alvarez catching, batting ninth. And there was two things that the Mets made a couple of minor league switches in the bullpen with a couple of arms. Steve Olson is going on a 15-day IL. If you didn't see yesterday, he got hit with a line drive, and he's on the IL with a left elbow bone bruise. So he's on the IL. Dennis Santana has been designated for assignment. And the two guys that replace these two guys is Jimmy Yacobanis from AAA and recall Jose Buto from AAA. So we got a couple of arms in there. Yacobanis is kind of a hard-throwing guy, right-handed pitcher, and he's a guy that the Mets could see him. You could see him as a guy mop up duty, give you a couple of innings. And Jose Buto is probably up here just in case Carlos Carrasco can't get out of the first two innings, and Jose Buto can give you a lot of length. So that is the situation the Mets are in right now. So the game's about to start in about 6 or 7 minutes or so. 4:07 is the official start time for Mets-A's Game 2 in Oakland. So let's see if that's going to be another Mets just easy victory, because these games, I can't see the Mets losing these games against the A's. I mean, anything can happen. It's baseball. That's baseball, Susan, what John Sterling says. But I don't know. And yes, I know people were talking about Senga yesterday. I talked about it yesterday. He has such good stuff. And I do think that, if the Mets 2 6-run innings took on the first 6-run rally took 29 minutes. The second 6-run rally took 32 minutes. That's a long time for a starting pitcher basically an hour of him sitting on the bench not throwing. And I think that did affect him. And, that's not an excuse to not go longer in the ball game, but he couldn't even get a victory because he didn't pitch 5 innings. And I know some people are like, well, he could have kept him in. It was 2 outs in the fourth. Let him finish the fifth, and he would have got the victory. But it was kind of still close. It was 6-3 at the time when he took him out. So I don't think it's smart to play games with that, especially when you need to put offense up on this team, and they did that. So I'm not going to go crazy with that, but Kodai Senga has got to stop throwing 95 pitches in 4 innings. It's not going to work out. You can't blow your bullpen out every time this guy pitches because you're trying to protect them innings-wise. You just can't do that. Not one Mets pitcher has gone to the 7th inning yet. That's a problem within 2 weeks in the first 2 weeks of the year. And all that's doing is just wearing out your bullpen. And I understand that, in April, you're going to use your bullpen a little bit more because you want to stretch these guys out. You don't want to overextend them in April. I get that. But it's not like Kodai Senga was struggling at, really, really struggling for the most part. Like he didn't have, his best game. That was yesterday was one of his worst game out of the other two. But he has to go longer in games. He has longer counts. He has a lot of 2-2, 3-2 counts. And even though he gets a lot of jams and he strikes guys out, that increases your pitch count. And that's something that you just have to learn to, pitch a little bit more of the contact. And maybe it's hard to do that with the forkball and his nasty cutter and his nasty curveball. But sometimes you just have to, put a little bit of, thought into it, saying, listen, I can't, it's great to strike out people, but, this isn't Japan, right? You're going to get your high pitch count up and you will be pitching in 5 days. So that's the other problem with the Kodai Senga situation is it that he's pitching every fifth day where he gets a little bit more tired early in games than he would if he pitched every seventh day like he did in Japan. That's something that the Mets are still learning with Kodai Senga. And I think Senga is also learning about himself. And that's where we're going to have to go with that. But we need him. We need Kodai Senga to go 6 innings on a regular basis. Because if you don't, you can't have a guy who is projected to be a number 3 starter to go 5 innings. This is just not going to cut it. I don't care if you have 10 strikeouts in 5 innings. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to help your bullpen at all, especially when you have the question mark of Carlos Carrasco going right after Kodai Senga. That's the other problem as well. But, yeah, as I said, Ken, I do think the 2 innings that took about a half hour apiece really did mess with him when it came to staying loose. It was a cool night in Oakland. So, it was hard to stay warmed up. So, and you saw him go to the bullpen in Oakland during the game when the Mets were still up to stay loose. So I think that's something that does have to actually did affect him. And no, I don't think he should be a closer. It's just the fact that you got to remember, guys, this is his first time pitching on 5 days rest in his life. He's never pitched more than 140 innings, and he's never pitched every fifth day. So the Mets are being cautious, and he's got to build up his stamina as well, because your arm is not going to recover as quickly as you're used to when you used to say, all right, I have 6 days to recover from my last start, and 7th day I'm pitching. Now you'll get 4 days of rest, and the 5th day you're pitching. So your body has to get readjusted, get adjusted to the new way of life. Your body's got to learn how to recover quicker. That takes time. That doesn't happen in a month. So I do think that it's possible that it is that whole situation. And the Mets know that. And I think Senga knows that as well. If this is happening in June and July, maybe we should be starting to worry a little bit with Senga where he can't get to the 6th inning. We can't have that in June and July. Because if it's not happening in June and July, then he's never going to figure out how to do this every 5th day. But you know what? You see a lot of Japanese pitchers figure it out. And I'm not even talking about, the great ones like Ohtani and those guys. I'm talking about those guys. I'm talking about like the Kikuchis of the world who are good pitchers, but learned how to pitch every 5th day. As I said, might not be throwing as hard, instead of the 97, 98, how about, pushing back a little bit and throwing 95, 96 and pitching to contact, like I said earlier. There's ways to go about it to keep your arm fresh, keep your body fresh every 5th day. So that's something that we would have to just see every 5th day and see over the course of the next couple of weeks if Senga builds up his stamina. But I think that's a huge issue as well. So game's about to start. Once again, it is Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th. Is the day he signs that contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers. So here we go. Mets, A's, game 2. Mets won the first game 17-6, 17 walks in the game yesterday. It was a brutal game to watch, over 3-hour game, and it was rough. So now we got a late afternoon game in the East Coast and a 1 o'clock game on the West Coast in Oakland. So see if the Mets get the run started early and get on the board early and just put these guys out of their misery quickly. So here we go. And Ken can watch the game. How about that? So once again, guys, before the game starts, please hit on that like button. We got 53 in the stream right now. I'm expecting another nice high viewership on this stream. So let's hit on that like button and let's get more people in the stream. Let's get a Let's Go Mets chant in the chat before the game starts. Brendan Nimmo is coming up to the plate just now and see if the Mets can get some early runs on the board. Here we go. I'm ready. Let me just get game day going and let me put the volume up. All right, guys. So here we go. Just give me a second.
ERA so far is 10.22. He'll try to better that today, but it's been a struggle in his first 2 starts.
Throwing up game day just now. Just give me a second. Let me just make sure it loads, and we'll be ready to go.
Carlos Carrasco pitched last night. Catches today.
I don't like how they re-updated game day, where you have to load it again for it to go into the actual game day mode. There we go. There we go. All right, guys. So here we go. Game's about to start. Let me put that up for you guys, and we'll be ready to go. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you can hear the audio.
It's a little flavor. It's easy to play first base, isn't it? Stay really, really hard.
Okay, VPN is great. All right, here we go. Brandon leading off.
2 RBIs, couple of walks last night. Fujinami's first pitch is a fastball outside of run.
Fujinami got a hard fastball, 97 miles an hour on the first pitch.
Last 2 games, 5 hits and 9 at bats and 4 runs batted in. So his bat has begun to catch up with his on-base percentage. Starts the day with a .466 on-base percentage, which is 4th in the National League. He leads the league with 14 walks. Fujinami's walked 7 batters in 6 2/3 innings in his first 2 starts, and he misses with a fastball away. If you look back at his Japanese career, he was a huge, highly touted prospect who never really fulfilled his promise, in part because of a lack of control. And he falls behind his opening hitter, 3-1.
Good start, 3-1 count.
97 to 99 miles an hour. He's got a sweeping kind of breaking ball and a split finger forkball splitter. 3-1 coming to Nimmo.
Nimmo takes a pitch right down the middle. Full count.
Fujinami over 10 years with the Hanshin Tigers averaged 4.1 walks per 9 innings, although he was a little better last year at 2.8.
And Nimmo strikes out. Nimmo got fooled on that fastball, high fastball, 1 out.
See, Brandon Nimmo is telling Marte on deck the ball's running, telling Lindor now the ball's running a little bit away. It's supposed to be in and up and away by Nimmo.
You don't see Nimmo take a bag swing like that.
Plate umpire Scott Berry walking over toward the A's dugout. He said something's going on with lights or something on the outfield. Issue with the clocks. The clock is on and running. It's not that. By the way, we've got a clarification about something that happened in the 9th inning last night. If you were watching, here's Charlie Marte, who was on base 5 times last night, 2 hits and 3 walks. I think that's the key phrase right there. Well, last night, when Jerry's Familia was walking the ballpark in the 9th inning, Arcatse, or his pitching coach, headed out to the mound to talk to Familia, and they had no intention of making a pitching change.
Oh, that's gone. Wow, where did that? Wow. He must have broke his back. Wow. Wow, that ball died at the warning track. 2 outs. Thought that ball was gone.
That leaves Sterling talking to himself. He's played enough games here that he should know that the ball sometimes does not carry. And now Scott Berry talking to Showalter about whatever is concerning him out of the outfield. It's appeared to be working just fine. It's the guy from last night with his girl. It's Lindor, tied a career high with 7 RBIs last night, and with that now leads the National League. It runs batted in with 15. And Fujinami misses away for ball 1. Anyway, the A's, because of all of their troubles pitching last night, were out of mound visits. And so because the pitching coach came out, they were forced to make a pitching change, which is why they brought Carlos Carrasco, catcher, in to pitch and get the final 2 outs. They lost their way just like we did in the broadcast.
Frankie, 2 outs.
Fujinami behind 2-0 and finds the outside corner with a fastball 2-1. I think the issue that Scott Berry was pointing out was that the two clocks are not in sync. Yeah, one of them was a few seconds ahead of the other. That's it over the bag and down the line.
That could be a double, maybe even a triple for Lindor. Oh, Francisco's going for a double. Whoa, what an arm. Wow. What a throw. That's a 2-out double for Lindor. Wow.
See, first, Lindor stays hot. Gets the ball down and in, gets it past the first baseman Aguilar into the right field. And watch Loriano. Comes up, bounces off the ball, and then on the fly. We've seen this from the time he came to the big leagues. He's made some of the most ungodly throws. And so Lindor probably would have tried for a triple against any other right fielder. Wisely slammed on the brakes. And that looked like Clemente in the 71 World Series against the Orioles. Pete Alonso, 2 for 4 with a couple of walks last night. Lindor at second with 2 outs, 6th double of the year for Francisco. Alonso gets slapped first back into the 2. You can see the starting faster than the catches up. Very weird. When it stopped. Yeah, it's a problem.
Oh, Alonso strikes out. Fool. And you see Fujinama has a nice running fastball that has been fooling the Mets batters in his first inning. Lindor got a double down the line, but Pete Alonso struck out to end the top of the first. So the New York Mets do not score in the top of the first, and Oakland A's are coming up in the bottom of the first. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. And Sean sent me a donation through Venmo, so I do appreciate that, buddy. I definitely appreciate that. I just noticed that. I'm like, where the hell am I getting somebody sending me money? I forgot that I put up the Venmo up there, so I appreciate that. Sean Pogar, I appreciate that, buddy. And we are just waiting. And yes, my TMWRNYM is my Twitch handle as well. So when I type, the Twitch is going to pop up on there as well. I don't know. The Mets have been having some problems with the first inning with scoring runs. Well, Marcus, they can't hit. They've hit the last 4 games, like runs-wise. But for the season, they haven't been scoring runs. But they can hit home runs, as we've seen yesterday. So you got to be careful. Like I said, Carlos Carrasco, his problem is keeping the ball in the ballpark. If you can't do that, he's in trouble. Like, I don't care who the hell you're playing. You know, as you see, Fujinama, I don't know how many pitches that he's going to make him throw in this game for the A's, but he's got nasty stuff. You can see it. If he can control his location and throw strikes, he's tough to hit, as you can see. He had the Mets off balance in the first inning, besides Lindor. So Carrasco could possibly be one of his last starts if he does not do well in this ball game against the A's. So bottom of the first, no score. Carrasco on the mound. Let's see what he can do here.
Down today. Well, if there's any stadium that could be a panacea to his ills, it would be here. Batting average against in his career in his Coliseum, 148 against Carrasco. He counted 3 last night. Chase Peterson hitting second, then Brent Rooker for Carrasco to deal with here in the opening inning. That count hits one of the air out to right.
That should be an easy out. 1 out. Okay.
That's the first out. That's defense is brought to you by your local Florida dealers. Alvarez behind the plate. Day game after night game. Giorne goes to third, started second yesterday. McNeil back at second base. And then the outfield, former A. Marcano is in left field. Nemo at Marcano. So 1 out and nobody on that. Chase Peterson, who hit 5th in the order last night, batting second today. 1 for 5 in last night's game. He swings and fouls off the first. Change up from Carrasco, nothing in 1. It's also one Scott Barry did part to jump on that foul ball.
Them damn drums.
Goes over that one. It's 0-2. That's the split change that he did not have any control on after the cleats. Mr. Lindor. So you're going to go. The players wearing Matthew Robinson theme equipment today. 1-2 to Peterson. Fastball 6 to mid 1-2. And obviously, command of that split is going to be essential for Carrasco, particularly against the lefties, where he dominated last year, but who have hit him hard early this season. Steve Gilb's ever done a piece on the foot locker that the door must break on the road, holding his shoes. Kevin Kears, the clubhouse manager, sure is receiving a big tip at the end of the year.
Nice pitch. Strikes him out. There you go. Carrasco looks like he got his slider through the first two hitters. Good sign.
You know, Gary, I felt like Carrasco in his first two starts really tried to simplify things and come out and just throw a couple of pitches for the first time in the order. He can't do that at this point in his career. He needs all 4 pitches to be working. There's our friends. Fans flags. And the drums.
Damn drums.
Here's Brent Rooker, who's been hot with the bat, homered last night, one of 3 home runs that the A's hit last night. He's now hit 4 in his last 3 games. Yes, 1,100 for Rooker. DHing again today. And he tries to hold the swing on the high fastball when he went around.
Carrasco looking good so far. He locates that fastball and throws us that hard sinker nice and low and don't leave it over the plate. Could have a good start.
Rooker, slider off the plate. It's 1-2. Name is a couch bottom track. Budapest. Their former Minnesota first-round draft pick. Texas swing and Texas.
Nice sinker.
It's 2-2. Let's try there by Alvarez to kind of move that glove back to the front over the plate. He's so deep in that box, little open stance for Rooker. Full out for L'Oreal, clean up there waiting on that. These are 3-11 on the season. This was 102 games last year. So notable that's been their pitching. Their offense has shown signs of life lately.
Ground ball should end the inning. And it does. So Carrasco gets a 1-2-3 inning to start his day off. In the bottom of the first, Mets coming up. And the Mets will have up 5, 6, 7. McNeil, Canna, Vogelback. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button and let's get the stream out to more Mets fans through this stream for Game 2. Can be nice. So if you haven't been paying attention, the NBA playoffs had started. The Knicks play at 6 o'clock tonight. I got a lot of text messages and DMs and emails regarding me. People wanted me to do the Knicks playoff game. I don't know about that. Maybe during the series I'll do it once. Maybe I'll do a Ranger game as well. We'll see how it goes. But because of the West Coast trip and I'm doing a lot of Mets games for this road trip, it's going to be hard to do Rangers and Knicks games, even one of them. Yeah, I'll watch it. You know, this game should be almost over. Hopefully by the end of the first quarter of the Knicks game should be over. So I think I'll have it on my phone watching it while we're doing this while I'm doing the stream here. Alien, I'd love to stream it, but it's gonna go into the next game, this Mets game most likely. So It's going to be hard to do that. Maybe I'll do it during the rest, maybe a game or two during the series. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it for Game 3 when the Knicks get back home to the Garden, and we'll see. All right, so we're going to the top of the second. McNeil is leading off. Top of the second, no score at the moment. Fujinami looked pretty good and had the Mets off balance. So let's see if they can figure this guy out.
Second inning, Jeff McNeil leads off against Shintaro Fujinama, and was one foul. There isn't a place that they have not thought of in the ballpark here. Somebody said what they should do is tear down Mount Davis, kill the possum, and the ballpark would be just perfect. I'm not sure if that's true.
Real pops it up.
Left center, and it's there. Ruiz drifts over.
And 1 out.
Time for the health report brought to you by the Northwell Cancer Institute. Justin Verlander through the bullpen session.
So they're giving up a report on Verlander through a bullpen session today. Good sign. Should be going to that rehab start very soon. I don't think so.
The clocks have to be attended to now. The clocks are a new feature. You would think that they would be working better than everything else, but perhaps the possum has chewed on the wires. If you're wondering about the possum thing and you weren't watching last night, we have been displaced from the regular visiting television booth because the presence, the lingering presence of a possum or multiple possums who left their business behind and created an untenable working environment. I should have handled this to you before, Gary. They said they'd rather we don't mention it today. No, sorry.
Nice
Can't
pitch.
take the high strike. How about if they just find the possum and get rid of it? I mean, they don't have to kill it. They can relocate it to a possum habitat instead of state to a farm. 1-2 coming to Canada. Former athletic fouls went back.
Exactly, Elliot. But again, the staff works there, so I'm not going to go crazy. You know, that's up to the owners, and, you know, not taking care of anything.
Ticking down normally. I don't know which clock is the umpire supposed to follow. Which clock are the players supposed to follow? It's funny you said send them upstate to a farm. I remember a guy came up to me, a huge Mets fan. I said, "Do you watch the games?"
And Canna strikes out. Well, Fujinama has his control today with his nasty stuff.
I'm not suggesting that the possum go to Sing Sing or Leavenworth, but, you know, just be relocated to a more friendly environment. Good by Fujinami. People are happy to see possums. Here's David Vogelback. 0 for 4 with a couple of walks last night.
That I do agree with, Andre. He does look like he's a little behind, a little lifting lifting the ball a little bit more, McNeil, and it's not really helping his overall batting average.
These starters had worst ERA for 14 games of any team in the history of the sport. The whip is approaching 2. That's a lot of base runners. A lot of them have scored. That's pulled down.
And Vogelback hits it hard right to the first baseman, and it ends the inning, flipping it to the pitcher. And 1-2-3 inning for Fujinama. Mets don't score, going to the bottom of the second. And the Mets are looking like they're going to have some trouble with Fujinama. And he had 2 quick innings here, so it's going to be a very interesting game for the New York Mets, that's for sure. Well, yeah, Ken, you know what? We don't talk about that much, and the security and the mental capacity and makeup that you have after you have that security, right? You know, no matter what McNeil does, he's getting that contract, right? Doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that McNeil doesn't care, because he clearly cares, right? We all know that. You know, when he doesn't get a hit, he's cursing out everybody and his mother, right? We all know that. But, you know, like you said, Ken, subconsciously, you know, it's, you know, there's a bit of comfort, right? You know, if you go 0 for 10, yeah, you're going to look mad, you know, on TV, but subconsciously you're gonna be like, well, I'm good for the rest of my life, And I know that's terrible to say, but if my job tomorrow says we're going to give you $300,000, make sure you do the same amount of work you do every other day before this. I mean, you got another thing coming, right? I'm going to know that you already gave me this money. What are you going to do? I get that aspect of it, and it's not that McNeil doesn't care. And again, we're going to start ripping him because he's a crucial part of this team. The reason why the Mets won 101 games last year was because McNeil was a huge piece to that puzzle. Like he was, with that strong average and getting on base so much was so important just as much as Lindor and Alonso was. That's how much he meant to this lineup. He has to be better, or this lineup is going to struggle even more. So, bottom of the second, no score. Carrasco, good first inning, and see if he can duplicate it.
He used to take over the field when he played. Laureano leads off in the second inning and takes strike. Carlos Carrasco. Laureano 1 for 3 last night. Having clean up in this Oakland batting order.
2 quick strikes. Like to see that. Throwing strikes. When Carrasco throws strikes, he's fine.
It's been pushed to the brink, right? They had to come with a good performance today. Ryan mentioned this has been a good stopping off point for Carrasco. 3 career starts in this ballpark at 2.31 ERA. And pitcher from below. Pitching here. This is one of the great places to pitch. Mound always feels a little higher. I don't know why. Buck said that whenever that mound feels higher, it feels like the plate is higher. The slope is just a beautiful mound. With all the foul territory, you get extra outs that you wouldn't get otherwise. I think aesthetically, that's why it feels closer because there's just so much foul territory. Laureano punches one in the left field
and gets a base hit. Jammed him.
First base runner for the A's, lead off single for Laureano in the second.
Good pitch, just a better piece of hitting. Pulled his hands in and got it to left field. Good piece of hitting and a good pitch. Just got a tippy cat to the hitter there.
So now Ledmus Diaz, who homered last night, his first home run with the Athletics. And Diaz hits one out to left.
Uh-oh.
Back. It's over his head. One out against the wall. Laureano runs to the third. And he'll be held up there. It's a double for Ledmus Diaz.
All right, so back-to-back hits in the second. That ball was hit hard. That was a ball that Carrasco left over the plate.
Well, that looked like the Henry split. Carrasco was trying to get ahead. Ball stayed right in the middle of the play.
Had him out in front, but kept his hands back a little bit.
Play this left field Carroll. It's Marquetta who gets the ball in quickly, stops Laureano from scoring because he's got a great jump, cuts the bags nicely. He's got good speed.
All right, see if Carrasco can settle down here.
Jesus Aguilar at the batter. And the fastball rides inside ball 1. Aguilar signed a 1-year free agent deal after playing for Orleans and the Orioles last year. Gets a slider and lifts it out to right, not very deep. On comes Marte. Laureano's not even going to tag.
All right, there we go. Good play by Marte, not getting that run of the tag. 1 out.
Big out for Carrasco. Just got that ball in on his hands. Aguilar is trying to go that way. It's interesting to watch Laureano run. It's almost like he's been taught by a track star. Watch his arms pump up and down. Here he gets around third. Eric Martin's third base coach had to really run out and say, get back. And he just barely did. Connor Cable goes
nice pitch. Oh, Carlos.
Misses nothing and 1. Cable has killed the Mets last September and again in the first game of the series yesterday. He's 8 for 16 with 2 home runs against Met pitching. He Yorme in at third, everybody else back. Second and third, one out. And Cable grounds one down to Alonso. The run will score.
All right, so we got the second out, but a run does score. I think you'll take the out for the run there. 2 outs, 1-0 A's. Well, committee today, Jose Buto and Yakambonis, who they brought up from the minors, and Nagosic is on the IL, and Santana was designated for assignment. So Jose Buto is probably your young man. But Carrasco threw one bad pitch. You know, I'm not going to kill him for one bad pitch. The first hit was a jam shot. It was just a good piece of hitting. I want to see him recover from this. You know, you gave up one run, hold it down.
He had been a very light hitter, well-regarded defensive catcher for years. And then all of a sudden, he's become a home run hitter. See if it translates to the big league level.
And he hits the batter.
Slider that didn't break. And so Paris goes to first. Slider Carrasco's hit this year.
So a nice first inning for Carrasco, a sloppy one here in the second. Not even close. Ball just spins and catches Paris.
By the way, speaking of people getting hit in the back, last night Steven Nagosic absorbed a comeback where they looked for all the work as though it hit him in the middle of the back. Turns out he hit off his elbow, and Nagosic went on the injured list today with a bone bruise in his elbow. So Stavery Ruiz takes a slider down the ball. Nagosic goes on the IL. Dennis Santana, who pitched last night, designated for assignment. The Mets have added 2 fresh arms for their.
But that's not why we need Lobo back, Juan. I hope you're joking. Oh, this might be a problem. It's 2 runs. 2-0 A's. Here we go again with Cookie.
Gary, you and I were talking before the game. There was mentioned that certain outs that you have to get, you're going to have a good game. 2 outs, 2 base runners on.
Oh, Mets got to score some runs to come back in this ball. Over the last 4 games, the A's scored 27 runs. So they have been scoring runs the last couple of games. But got to stop the bleeding. Well, this was another guy that was on the clock with Cookie.
Third and 2 out. Kemp takes the fastball on the outside edge, nothing at all.
Well, Verlander is probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks away. Can't wait that long.
Florida first, and just getting back with Ruiz. Ruiz is a guy you have to keep an eye on. He's got great speed, 2 steals so far this year.
You made him?
He was going. Just barely.
Oh, I know. I'll jump to
that bag.
You can't eat
He's
your own
running.
gas.
Popped up. That might stay in play. No one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Kept up the first pitch because he thought Ruiz was going to go. Took a called strike. Ruiz doesn't realize it's a foul ball, apparently.
Nobody's informed it quite yet. Now the second base umpire, Gabriel, says,
Usually the person covering the base will say, stand up, or foul ball, to let them know.
They reset the clock for Ruiz. It might be a call for a violation. It might be Alonso because
No, it's actually a better crowd than last night.
he's running again. And it's
Ground ball should end the inning, and it does. So Carlos Carrasco gives up 2 runs, Gave up a couple of hard hits there. Again, 2 runs, 3 hits, and in the second inning. So going top of the third, Mets trail 2-0. All right, Mets got to score some runs here. If Cookie only gives up 2 runs, you got to be better than that. You got to get it done, guys. That's what we got to do with the runs. You can't score 17 runs yesterday and don't score nothing today. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing. So get it done. That's just what you got to do. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. We are here throughout the entire game today. Mets Oakland game 2. Mets won 17-6 yesterday in the gruesome performance by the Oakland A's. And you would never think today is the same team the way they were hitting. So, yeah, Ken, I was talking about that yesterday. I was like, you know what? Watch this team won't score. And it's like, we can't lose a game to the A's. I mean, I know Fujiyama is pitching well, but, I mean, he might pitch 5 innings. And you see how bad the Oakland A's bullpen is. And on top of that, they used everybody yesterday. So they can't be, fresh. Like, they got to be tired. And 17 walks. Like, it's crazy. Andre, I don't even know if it's the pitch clock anymore. I'm going to go on the merit of he is just done. I don't think he can locate his fastball anymore. I don't think he can throw his fastball for a strike anymore. And when he does, it gets crushed. And I think that's, he has like 1.5 miles off his fastball. And, when you think you can blow a bypass somebody and the guy turns on it, what are you going to do, right? At times you just feel you're done. And maybe he is. So, top of the third, 2-0 A's. Mets have the bottom of the order of Guillermo, Alvarez, and Nimmo. See if the Mets can do anything here. Get back into this ball game. Give some run support to Carlos Carrasco. And hope for the best. Here we go.
1997. Jackie's number 42 was retired across baseball. 50th anniversary of his debut. The announcement was made at Shea Stadium. Commissioner Zillig, President Clinton were on hand. 1-1 to Luis Guillorme leading off in the third. That's behind 2-0. Guillorme,
well,
on base 5.
True, Mike, but Harvey was more his own worst enemy.
At third base.
I think Carrasco is just old. And his arm is just not what it was.
Because that's the part we'll play tomorrow.
Harvey destroyed himself. Carrasco is just getting up there.
See what he's doing, and Buck said he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. That's down first to foul ball.
Consider that all the people that follow this team are writing these strides. They're just trying to find a little comment here or there that's going to ignite a firestorm. But just now,
here's the deal. Buck is going to be as supportive as he can of every player, whether they're here.
And Guillorme strikes out. I don't think the Mets are going to hit this guy.
He's not going to do it. You see this even from last year when Francisco Alvarez got called the first time. He's not going to feed the hype machine. It's just not the way he's going to roll, because that puts too much pressure on the younger players.
There's no hyperbole with Buck when it comes to younger players. And even more importantly, you know what Buck's job is to do?
All right, Alvarez first at bat.
On his roster. And, it's just a disservice.
That might actually fall. Oh, nice play. 2 outs.
Tony Kim is a very fun player to watch. And he made a nice grab there to retire Alvarez for the second out.
This has always had great kind of control over his body. This is a difficult play because he's looking through the sun. You have a right fielder encroaching. Makes the play and a little tumble.
Clinch right there at the end that made you think maybe that ball was coming out of the sun. And then looks like a fastball strike.
Yes, right there. Like he lost it for a split second and just stayed with it.
Hey, Joe. What's up?
Fujinami's now retired 6 in a row after Lindor's double in the first.
And finally, Gary, it's a disservice to the people that are playing for you. if you are chatting up a guy that could be a replacement at some point, your job as a manager is to not lose your players, and that's the quickest way to do it.
Well, I think also, if you're on a team, if you're managing a team, like say Oakland, and you've got a big prospect coming up, well, you want to sell that prospect. That's kind of part of your job as the manager because you're trying to boost people's hopes for the team and the franchise. It's different when you're on a team that's expected to win. You want to downplay your prospects and let them ease their way into what is going to be a high-pressured environment when they get here. 3-1 to Nimmo, struck out his first time up, but he rifles one to
And
right
Nimmo
field.
hits one to right field for a base hit. 2-out hit.
Nimmo to a 2-out single. So Nimmo now 6 hits in his last 11 at bats, and he's scored 2 out of the third.
Nimmo really slung the bat well in last night's game. A base to left field off the wall, a line drive to left hit to right field here this Mimi this afternoon. Right on the nose. There's been an out in last year's game or last year's rules.
It's Marte who covered one his first time up, but to the big track and left. Fujinami crowds him with a fastball for ball one. So Marte's now been on base 5 times out of 7 in this series. Started the day with a 404 on base percentage. Mets on base percentage has got very healthy ones.
Oh, solid.
Here's my favorite stat to emerge from last night's game. 2 of them. One is the Mets are the first team ever on the road to score 17 runs and get 17 walks in the history of the game. That probably isn't very surprising. But here's one that really tells the full story of what we watched last night. The A's pitchers threw 120 pitches that were either balls or hit bounces. 120. Now, 120 can sometimes be enough pitches to cover an entire game. That was just the balls out of the strike zone. 120 of them in 9 innings. 3-0 to Marte. And he swings.
Oh, that might get out. Oh, another one. Jesus.
2 balls fell, but they both been caught on the track.
Marte hit to crush 2 balls, and that damn field kept it in. And the Mets do not score. Jesus. What the hell does Marte have to do? He crushed 2 balls, and the ball just died on the warning track both times. So the Mets do not score. Marte's clearly seeing that pitcher well. He crushed that ball, and the one before that. Lordy Lord. No, it's not on SNY. It's on Pix 11 if you're in New York. Don. I don't know where you are. I don't know what type of blackout you have in certain apps as well. So. Well, Escobar's not playing. That's a good thing. So we're just waiting for the bottom of the third. What are you doing? Jesus. Oh, it is blacked out. Why? I don't understand why it would be blacked out. That's crazy. Yeah, sorry about that, Don. I'm not really sure what app would actually work in your area, to be honest. So I don't want to say try this one and it's kind of like doing the same issue because I think it just hits on your location. So, shit. Sorry. All right, so going to the bottom of the third, 2-0 A's. Marte hit 2 balls that looked like it was gone, and they were caught.
Struck out his first time first. Things got dicier in the second. Going to go back-to-back hits to start the inning, and both kick around to score. Peterson takes changeover for a strike on one. Peterson, then Booker, and Oriano for the A's in the third. Turns from the outside, it's 2-1. We've seen with Carrasco as the games have gone along, it says that his velocity has dropped for the first couple of innings.
Nice pitch.
That's a nice job by Alvarez. You see him trying to push that glove up and into the strike zone to get a strike for his pitcher.
Was catching Carrasco for the second straight start. And changeup misses down 3-2.
Joe, I would think so. But then again, are we going to wait 2 more weeks for Verlander to come back to just throw out Carrasco out there? I mean, you're going to throw Carrasco against the Giants? Got him. Nice pitch. That was a nice pitch by Carrasco to strike him out. 1 out.
Second strikeout for Carrasco, both against Peterson.
Alvarez is playing today. He's batting ninth.
John Peterson on the IL for the Giants, who lost again to the Tigers today on a Biggie Cabrera walk-off hit. And Wainwright on his way back. Zach Neto, called up by the Angels, to make his debut after being drafted last year. Did you see the Domingo Germán saga today?
I didn't see it.
So Rocco Baldelli asked the umpires to look at his hand, and they did. And they told him to wash his hand. And then the next inning, they said, I thought we told you to wash your hand. And Baldelli came out and said, he didn't wash it off. How come you're not throwing him out of the game? And so they threw Baldelli out of the game. It turned out it was rosin on his hand, not an illegal substance. But Rocco was upset that he had not removed it.
Hopped up.
And so he got thrown anyway.
Nimmo should have it. 2 outs.
Nimmo catches Brett Rooker's fly ball. 2 out.
Same conversation I had myself. Didn't wash your hands. Get back in there and wash your hands. You know, last night was unusual for the Twins to come out and beat the Yankees. The Yankees were 29-3. Judge had to hit a home run in the same game. Well, they were also
Well, we've been saying that, Don, for the last week since he's been up. It makes no sense not to play him every day. You know, he's shown that he's been pretty good behind the plate.
Jared Kelvin still the last few days. Straight. Hitting 366 too. Mariners though, 6-8. Swinging a
Nice
miss.
pitch.
Slider by Carrasco, so it's been a nice bounce back in.
the Mariners have for the last couple of years won most of their one-run games. So they were on the precipice. Can they continue to do that? Not so far.
Not something that teams are generally able to do in consecutive years. And that's why people thought maybe the Marlins would do better this year because they lost so many one-run games last year. 7-7. Check swing on a pitch up high. It's 3-2. Check 2-2. Spurgeon for the Marlins last night, so got a good pitcher performance out of Trevor Rogers. We're hoping he has a bounce back year where he was looking. Split there by Carrasco, and Oriano did well to foul it off.
Yeah, no, committee. It's a thunderstorm warning. And strike three. Nice bounce back inning from Carrasco. 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Mets still trail 2-0 going to the top of the fourth. Yeah, I know, Joe. I just saw it right now. They just said that a severe thunderstorm in the area. So, yeah, that was it wasn't an Amber Alert. Oh, you're getting it right now? Yeah, so it's definitely blowing over here. It got very dark by where I'm at right now. It was supposed to rain like hours ago, so I guess it's slowed down. But it ended up being a nice day for the most part. So here we are, guys, going to the top of the fourth. A's lead 2-0. Carrasco had 3 good innings and 1 so-so that gave up 2 runs. And that's what the score is at the moment. So the Mets got to score some runs here. Fujinama is, he's got good stuff. You can see it. But don't let him control everything. Like, let him work himself out of innings, right? Let him work harder. And the Mets aren't really doing that. But it looks like they're not reading his fastball. So that might be the issue at the moment. But Juan, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Come on. Gotta get some runs here. Be nice to start the Dodger series 3-0 on the road trip. Gives us a little bit of wiggle room to lose a game or two against the Dodgers. All right, top of the fourth. Mets will have up 3-4-5. Lindor, Alonso, and McNeil.
Pioneers who came just after or alongside Jackie. Larry Doby broke the color barrier in the American League with the then Cleveland Indians. And how about Willard Brown and Hank Thompson? They were the first black teammates in the starting lineup of the Major League game for the Browns. In fact, Hank Thompson was the first black player for 2 teams, the St. Louis Browns and the New York Giants.
Willard Brown was nicknamed Home Run Brown.
And there's their manager, Buddy Rule, who was Walter Johnson's catcher with the Washington Senators back in the 1920s.
Pioneers. Can't even imagine what it takes to be a pioneer like that.
Come on, Frankie.
This is Lindor leads off in the 4th. Mets have been held to just 2 hits over the first 3 innings by Shintaro Fujinami, who's looking for his first big league win. Lindor doubled.
Come on, Frankie, let's go.
His first time up.
Frankie hit a double down the right field line.
He's playing a different sport.
So it looks like Lindor is starting to hit a little bit left-handed, and that's a good sign. Might be in one of those streaks where he's red hot. Definitely not stepping in the bucket left-handed right now. Seeing the ball well out of the hand. Good couple of signs for Lindor to be getting hot right now.
Signed by the Hampshire Tigers. He was judged on the same plane as Shohei Ohtani. They were considered both equal prospects.
Yeah, in fact, he was in the draft. He was taken ahead of Ohtani.
Come on.
His career blossomed. Tsunami granted to Carl Davis recently as last year. He's been part of the 60s man Japanese lineup.
45 pitches for Fujinami.
16 starts for the big league Hampshire Tigers.
Gary, because of his control, he was a 500 pitcher.
The ground ball is going to be a hard play. Oh, what a nice play by the second baseman. 1 out.
Just a fine play. Short hop here.
No, Stezo is actually a little less than last night. Last night was actually like a lot of people weren't. Steve, 2-0 A's, top of the fourth. Like a lot of people were in the stream, but a lot of people weren't chatting. Today, a lot more people are chatting. Come on, Pete. Goodbye. That one's gone. That is a huge home run by Pete Alonso, hitting the second deck. There you go. Number 7 to lead baseball in home runs. Pete Alonso with a boom bomb to left field. 2-1 A's. There we go. Alonso did not miss that one. Woo. That was a shot. You heard that. Woo. Ouch. hurt that ball. And Devers does have Senga, yes. I do think the reason why Pete Alonso, and there goes the severe thunderstorm warning again. Could we please stop that damn beep? Jesus. I do think with Pete Alonso losing a little bit of weight, I do think it's helping him with his turning on pitches a little bit better and staying in the at-bats a little bit more. He's staying back on the ball, too. It's nice to see. Big Meat Pete, Big Meat Pete. That's what I'm talking about. Jail. Last night is last night. It was nice, but we're kind of losing 2-1 right now. We got to get back in this ball game. McNeil ground ball and should be 2 outs. Well, yes, sir. Raise the apple. Stoney, how you doing?
Less than 100 behind Strawberry.
Mark Hanner up 12, top of the foot, 2 1/8.
Well, if you look around the league, and you look, there's probably 5 players that can approach what Judge did last year. Judge, of course. Schwarber, you would probably put on that list. Maybe Trout and Ohtani. Well, Pete's on that list.
7 home runs for Pete in 15 games. And still got a few more innings to go in game 15 to add up on that home run total. Kind of pops it up, and that should end the inning. And it does, but not before Pete Alonso hits a moonshot to the second deck in left field to cut the lead in half. 2-1 A's going to the bottom of the 4th. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to this. If you're on the East Coast, early afternoon into the evening game for the East Coast people on the stream. And, of course, you're on the West Coast, happy afternoon. And if you're a basketball fan, depending on if you're watching the games, you saw the Sixers beat the Nets earlier today, a couple hours ago, and the Knicks are playing at 6 o'clock tonight against the Cavaliers. Of course, Mets fan Donovan Mitchell, who everybody thought was going to be a Knick, is now a Cavalier and gets to play the Knicks in the first round. So we'll see that game at 6 o'clock, and that will be fun for sure. You know, JL, I said I think he's going to play around with 60. And honestly, the reason why I said that is the fact that the way he's hitting the ball, it is not like last year he had, over 40 home runs, but he seemed unbalanced at the plate in the box. Like he was fooled on pitches a lot more often last year. This year, he's not missing those pitches, and he's staying back on the ball. He's more balanced at the plate. And let's not make no mistake about it. He did lose weight in the offseason. I think that's a huge difference that can change. A split second is all you need to get around on a pitch. And I do think that's helping him get around on certain pitches. Like that wasn't a 92 miles an hour fastball. He hit a 98 miles an hour fastball. Yes, it was over the plate, but I mean, at times you would see Pete flailing at that and not balanced in the box. He's extremely balanced in the box. What's up, Slappy? All right, so bottom of the 4th, 2-1 A's. See if Carrasco can get a. They're having problems with the pitch clock in Oakland because nothing works in Oakland. So see if Carrasco can put up zeros here and get the Mets offense back on there. Well, Ken, they might start doing that again, but the way Pete eye is right now, maybe he's going to be laying off of it. They are pitching him a little differently. Like they're trying to pitch him inside, and he's very quick inside.
26 games.
Wow.
Well, since then, they have allowed virtually every star player to walk away from the
Yep, Joe, ready for Tuesday.
Lost 102 games last year. They're destined for at least that many this year. It's a good breaking ball by Carrasco. He's fouled off.
Oh, yeah, Ken, exactly. He don't miss those little pitches. And, speaking of the sliders, I think 2 of his home runs came on low sliders. So he went out and got that ball. So it is something that I just think he's just becoming an all-around good hitter. And that's a ground ball. It's going to be a tough play. Nice play. Guillermo made that look easy. 1 out. It is a little interesting, though, because, with Pete Alonso, and I think I said this last year. It wasn't the power that surprised me. It wasn't the RBIs that surprised me with Pete Alonso. It was the average. He got his average up about 20 points from 2019. I'm not even going to say 2020, but from 2019. So getting that average up was more important to me because he's a pure power hitter, which is going to lead to more RBIs. The average was eye-opening for me, which I really love with Pete. And Aguilar hits against the wall. That might not be a double. Oh, they might get him. It was a nice throw, too. So that was a 1-out double from Jesus Aguilar. Yeah, there wasn't a bad pitch. He went down and got that ball. Yes, Tony, I don't understand. Like, Marte crushed those 2 balls and they stood in the ballpark. Like, that should be 2 extra runs for the Mets. All right, see if Cookie can bear down here. Would have been nice, Ken. Get the offense right back up there. But he can still get out of the inning with no runs. See if he can do it.
Not complete years. They want to lean on the door.
Jesus Aguilar, career 6 for 15, batting 400 against Carrasco. Some guys just have your number. I'm glad that guy didn't swing at that pitch. That was not a good pitch, but he took it for a strike. 2-2.
Since the A's got 15 games last year, the first 2 weeks this year.
Ground ball should be 2 outs, and it is, and the runner moves to third. So Carrasco needs to get 1 more out to hold that runner at third base.
It's interesting if you watch Carrasco on that play, Darren.
Carrasco's pitch count is in good shape, 58 pitches, 2 outs and a fourth.
Lean that way and start running that way. And since he was over there, so you start to run, he knows to go to the second baseman, so he lets the runner pass, and he gets behind the runner because the catcher cannot back up because of the runner on third.
And especially in this ballpark where there's so much room for the ball to bounce around if it gets past.
Come on, Carlos. Let's go.
Carlos Carrasco was hit by a pitch his first time.
Popped up. Is it going to stay in play? And it doesn't. All that room and it goes out of play.
Second row. I mean, the door and Guillermo each ran a good 150 feet just to make sure that ball was going to go up.
So the severe thunderstorm, when it says, stay indoors and close your windows. All right, out in front, 2 strikes. Come on, Carlos, let's go.
Aguilar at third and 2 out. One, two coming to Perez.
That was a nice pitch.
Carrasco ran into trouble in the second inning. Gets the first two hitters.
Yeah, exactly, Ken. It's crazy. This weather makes no sense. Trying to get him fish with that slider, but did not. Come on, Carlos. Let's go. Ken, I have no idea. Oh, come on, Blue. You called that earlier in the game. That was a pitcher's pitch right there. Didn't get the call. That's rough for Carlos right there. That was a nice pitch. Come on. Come on, Carlos.
Bunt is a small possibility.
Base hit on the grass to mitigate against that. He's at a base hit for right center and driving a run. And he takes the first pitch slider at the corner of the knees, nothing at one.
He does want to probably push it towards.
I don't like the playing a little bit more up the middle. I don't leaving a lot of space on the right side. Oh, and he hit him. Ouch. Jesus. Sony, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now it's bases loaded, 2 outs. Carrasco can't put the inning away. This is not an inning you can let get away from you here.
Crucial out for Carrasco in this ball game.
Just joining us, the Mets added 2 pitchers today. Jose Buto and Jimmy Yacobonis were both called up.
Buck is on the phone, getting the pitcher warmed up. Tough spot right now. And this happened quickly. So it's not like you can get somebody up when Cookie had 2 outs in the inning with 1 on. This happened rather quickly, so. Lord.
Really good third inning. Running into trouble with the 4th. Base loaded 2 out. Now the leadoff hitter, Tony Kemp. Kemp is flying out.
Come on, Cookie. Drag a bunt, and it's foul. Woof.
We saw this earlier on their great
Wow. That was almost a great bunt. And good job by Pete not panicking there, trying to get the ball, let it go foul. Oof.
Brings it with him. Pete was all the way back. And the ball, the second bounce took a jump to the right. And that's what kept it foul.
Watching a couple of balls up the line.
Come on. Come on, Cookie, let's go.
Aguilar at third, Perez at second, Ruiz at first with 2 out. And Kemp plays off the splitter.
You know, Cookie's not throwing bad splitters. They're just laying off of it. I don't know if they're reading something that is making them not fish for that, but they're not bad sinkers, split fingers at all. Yeah, they're just not swinging at them. It's crazy. And they're starting like around thigh high and dropping to the ankles. Yacobonis is warming up in the bullpen for the Mets. Just called up today. All right, Mark, nice catch to end the inning. Good job. Wasn't hit very hard, but it was flying towards the left field line, and Canna got there to end the inning. That's a good job by Canna. Canna knows that left field very, very well. Obviously, he played there for many years before the Mets signed him 2 years ago or last year. So the Mets get out of that jam with no runs. So, listen, Carrasco got himself out of a jam there. So that's something that he hasn't done this year. So that's a good job by Cookie Carrasco. I wonder if he's going to be done after this inning. Or you know what? Listen, I do it this way. He got through 4 innings. He got out of a jam. I have no bring him back out there for the 5th. You don't want to waste the guys you just brought up. Let him go out for the 5th in a clean inning. See if the Mets score a couple of runs here. Put him back out there. Because let's be honest, guys, I don't think anybody's going to be filling in for Carrasco at this point. You know, unless they're going to think about putting Joey Lucchesi in this spot, which I doubt. Because would they bring up Lucchesi and then as soon as Verlander comes, bring Lucchesi down? And then Carrasco goes to the bullpen? That could be an option as well. But he got out of the jam, and that's something that we have not seen from Carrasco this year. Good sign. Again, it's not against a good team. I get it. But a little bit of confidence can help him. A little bit of confidence can help him. So we're going to the top of the 5th. Carrasco gets out of the jam in the 4th. Saves a couple of runs that could have happened. Kind of with a nice catch down the left field line to end the inning. The Mets coming up, top of the 5th. As you can see on screen, Vogelback, Guillerme, and Alvarez. Bottom of the order. You know, this is a situation here where people can talk about the on-base percentage of Vogelback. This is a spot where I want to see Vogelback swinging the bat. Swing for the fences, please. This is why we got you. We didn't get you because your on-base percentage is so good. Like, that is not the reason, all right? Don't clog up the damn bases. Let's get it. It's the middle of the game. Let's score some damn runs. Let's put this out of their misery, and they're showing Alcatraz right now. Right over there. That's something that I really want to do. I want to go into that, do that museum, do that little tour of Alcatraz. All right, Vogelback's up. 2-1 A's, excuse me. Top of the 5th. Takes 2 pitches right down the middle. My God. Now I'll swing one out. Swing one out that's not even close to the plate.
Because swimming is not an option. Because, Uber doesn't really go out there. Lower third of the order for Fujinami, who's trying to get through the 5th inning for the first time in his big league career. He went 4 1/3 his last outing against Tampa Bay. 3 1/3 in his first start.
Ground ball, and should be 1 out. Weak ground ball to 3rd. I mean, he just doesn't do nothing. You know, where are all the Vogelback supporters that were destroying me on the chat last year? All talking about, how good he is, his on-base percentage. He's garbage. Garbage. All right, Guillerme's up for 1 out.
Gets tight. Does not walk the batter today.
Oh.
He's very relaxed, in control.
Okay.
He's throwing a lot of fastballs, kind of trying to keep it simple here this afternoon.
2-0 Guillerme.
Last night, Mark had some interesting thoughts this year. The A's manager said, look, I would rather that they threw it right down the middle and how people hit it. And then we'll work on that from there. So we've just seen too many free passes turn into runs. Now the first
all right.
walk of the day by Fujinami.
That's a walk for Guillerme.
3 times last night. That's over 1 out.
Alvarez coming up. I want to see Alvarez do something here. Hit a ball on the gap. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Francisco. Let's go.
That's was a club record. Walks drawn in any game. This is the lean back of that first fastball, and Carlos Carrasco is going to take it.
A little bit of chin music. Fujinami getting a little wild here. Mound visit. So while the mound visit, don't forget, guys, please hit on that like button if you're just tuning into the stream. And if you're new to the channel, please say where you're from. And if you're a fan of the Mets or another team, I always like to know where everybody's from. And if you're a fan of the Mets or somebody else. So shoot it in the chat and we can say what's up to you. Once again, we're in the top of the fifth. There's one out for the Mets. Man on first, 2-1 A's.
That you rarely see in American players. Look, it's a lot of lines. Yep. It's wearing away that pitch toe.
Alvarez swung at the first pitch and popped up to count his first time up. And Francisco takes a strike on the outside.
I want to see Alvarez be a little patient here, not just swinging out of your shoes.
Getting his third start today. Said he was thinking about maybe starting a back-to-back games, depending on how today transpired. I'm sure some pitches tomorrow. He's
Oh,
tied up inside. He went around 1 and 2.
the ball almost hit him, and he checked his swing and strike two.
Just looked a little jumpy at the plate.
His plate discipline is off.
He went at first with 1 out. VENMO on deck. And step off by Fujinami.
Then fake the first. When you put yourself in Alvarez's shoes, he knows he's got a chance here because of the injury. You know, bias. He's just trying too hard there. That's what it is. Very simple.
And he
Good eye.
certainly wouldn't be the first of this, but you go from hitting in the middle of the lineup in AAA to hitting 9th, 8th in the big leagues. It's a whole different dynamic.
Oh, Stephen, Lake Mary, Florida, western part of Florida. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Stephen.
2-2 to Alvarez.
And he strikes out.
Fastball comes up empty. That's the second strikeout for Fujinami today.
The look right now on Alvarez, because of things, is impatience. Is that everyone knows you don't have a 4 strike once you get them. It's 2 strikes, and that's what we've seen. Pitchers trying to exploit that advantage.
Started that bat against Josh Hader. That came on Tuesday.
Yeah, he don't swing at strikes. Why throw him strikes when he's not he's swinging at balls?
Base hit to right his last time.
All right, Brendan, VENMO up 2 outs.
He sells one outside ball. There were now 6 hits and 11 at bats over the last 3 games.
Come on, Brendan.
Batting average climbed quickly, just a shade under 280. Guillorme at first with 2 down. Mets down by a run as they bound the 5th. And it looks one foul. Road ahead for the Mets, brought to you by Hyundai.
I agree, Jay.
We're game here tomorrow on the celebration.
The plate discipline's not there. And that hasn't been his issue in the minors. The plate discipline's been there. I don't know if he's trying too hard or he's overmatched at the moment. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Ball's getting hard, and these guys are catching it. Damn. As big as that ballpark is, we can't find the damn grass. Frustrating. It's not like we're not hitting the ball. Going to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 A's. VENMO hits a shot to right field, and all that grass in the outfield, and the Mets are finding leather. Amazing. Twice by Marte and just now by VENMO. He freaking lined that ball to right field and right to the right fielder. Can't do nothing about that. You hit it, try to hit it where they ain't. So, with that said, guys, we are nearly halfway through the game. Mets are down by 1. Seems like Carrasco is going to come out for the 5th, which I agree with. Got out of the jam for the first time this year, where he was in a lot of trouble. Usually he would just, it would be like a merry-go-round and the runs just keep on coming, but he stopped it and didn't give up any runs, so I give him the 5th inning and have a bullpen guy ready just in case. Yeah, I mean, we talk about Holderman for Vogelback, but it sounded like, that would make or break the Mets if Holderman was still on the Mets last year. So, and it's not like yeah, obviously he would help this bullpen and make him even better, but it's not like this bullpen has been garbage. It's not like the bullpen was garbage last year. Came up to the offense. I agree, Studs. I agree. Fugiyama, he's pitching well. And, the Mets have about 6 or 7 hard hit balls that were hit right at people. Again, no excuse. They got to do better. They got to score runs. You can't score 17 yesterday and score one freaking run. Like, come on. But there's to be a huge disappointment if you lose one game. Yeah, Keller's doing good, but you know what? What do people worry about that too much, and I never really worried about it. I didn't think it was a good trade. All right, bottom of the 5th, first ball hitting, and Nimmo makes the catch. The A's hit the ball, and it looks like these balls are fly balls, and they almost go out. 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Nimmo, who plays rather deep anyways, grounds this ball pretty easily. The ball kind of died when it went out there because Peterson covered it.
All right, 1 out for Carrasco.
Today that have not sailed. Alonso's ball was the exception. Usually it is a rocket on it.
Kellen's good. Like, I think we all thought he was going to be good, but again, it's water under the bridge at this point. Again, granted, just think of it this way: if the Mets would have never made that trade, will Kelenic be up right now with the Mets and Nimmo not be on the team? The Mets would have maybe not assigned Brendan Nimmo, so you always got to think about that too.
He's done though, Gary, today that he hasn't done in his first 2 starts. He's pitching in a lot.
Yeah, and it's like it was mostly the offense that did not get the runs in. Like the pitching was, for the most part, okay.
When you lose velocity, you have to be more effective inside. That means on the corners or running the ball in.
Well, I don't know if it's even player development because over the last couple, over the last 5 years, you got the Alonsos of the world, the McNeils, the Nimmos, you got those guys. I've said this from the beginning. I don't think Alvarez is going to be a very good major leaguer. I've said that. Popped it up. Marte I don't think Marte sees the ball, and he does. 2 outs. Oof. Yeah, see, like I said, I always would take a position player over a reliever, but again, it was a dumb trade because you were taking on money, and for Cano, you didn't have to give up a top prospect. That was Brody being stupid and not knowing how to do his job. All right, Carrasco got 2 outs, first 2 outs, 76 pitches. Well, Studs, his defense is not a problem. What I've seen from his defense is perfectly fine. The problem is you can't keep him in a lineup if he doesn't hit. I know Needle doesn't hit either, but, I don't know what to do with Alvarez. I don't. Either he's pressing or he's not as good as we all think he is offensively. And I think that's the problem we have to worry about. His defense, I haven't seen any worries.
We're on a 2 for 5 in this series. Inside, change up 2-2.
I just think Brody Van Wagenen didn't have common sense. Agent or not of Cano's, I still think you have common sense. You don't give your number 1 overall prospect when you're taking on all that money for Cano. That's why the Mets got Diaz, because they took on that money with Cano. It's not like it was just Cano straight up. I just don't understand why you had to give a top prospect. He's just no common sense there. This is what Carrasco had last inning. Got the 2 outs and struggled to get out of this inning. Don't walk him. I said that, Andre. I said Parada from the beginning. Going to be a better overall player than Alvarez.
3-2 coming. And Real fouls out. Senga run again on it. Well, last year was a really good year for Carlos Carrasco. He won the 100th game of his big league career. 15 games for the Mets last year. All 3 numbers going back to his years.
Yes, it was. But there's a reason why the Mets drafted Kevin Parada. They could have drafted a top pitcher, early in the draft. Remember, they had 2 first-round picks early in the draft, in top 15. They could have got a couple of good pitchers, and they decided to take Parada. I think that was a telltale sign that they don't trust Alvarez to be whatever he thinks he is. Popped up. See if Marte's going to get it, and he does. Nice catch by Marte to end the inning, and that's a good piece of pitching by Carrasco, getting through 5 innings, 2 runs. I think a lot of people, if you would have said Carrasco gave up 2 runs in 5 innings, some people might have laughed and says you're crazy. That can never happen, and he did it again. This is more of okay. It's against Oakland, so you're not going to take too much merit out of that, but it can definitely help the confidence level of Carrasco just a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and throw 7 innings next time he pitches against the Giants, but it shows that, all right, maybe I do still have it, because he's throwing a lot of good pitches in his game. Like, his splitter is nasty. They're just not swinging at it at the moment. Yes, sir, studs. Half hour from now, playoffs for the Knicks against the Cavaliers. So, once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to Mets A's Game 2 of the series, Game 15 of the season, and on Jackie Robinson Day. If you were wondering why everybody was wearing 42, now you know. But I think by now everybody understands what April 15th is. But we are more concerned about the Mets actually scoring freaking runs in the Oakland Coliseum or wherever the hell they want to call it now. So we are just waiting for, Cookie, like I said, if I said before the game, 5 innings, 2 runs for Carrasco, the Mets, they scored 6 runs yesterday. It's not like Senga didn't give up runs. He gave up 4. So, Andre, no. When you have the number 1 overall prospect in all of baseball, you are not drafting a top flight catcher when there was top pitchers and top position players like outfielders and infielders that they could have took. They took Parada because, 1, he was the number 1 overall catcher in the draft. Like, you don't just do that because there's nothing else you can choose from. They had a ton of pitchers. Look at the guys the pitchers took after Parada. And they took, Jet Williams as well. So, all right, Marte is up. Marte hit 2 balls hard. Let's see if he can do some damage here. Not when you already have a number 1 overall catcher in baseball. You don't take that, especially when Parada's on the fast track to the major leagues. Oh, and they hit Marte and lead off base runner. And it hit his hand, which is not good. The point is, what everybody knows what the Mets need in their farm system: pitching, top flight pitching prospects. You don't take a catcher when you have a number 1 overall prospect. When you believe he can be a catcher for 15 years. So they're looking at his wrist. So that's not good. They're checking his hand. He looks okay. All right, he's up. He's good.
It's had just 3 hits so far today. One of them, Alonso's 7th home run of the year.
All right, so we got the big part of the order up. We got Lindor coming up. Marte on first. Nobody out. Opportunity for the Mets to get some runs here. It's not the point. If you're looking for – the Mets have no surplus of pitching in their farm system at all. You take pitching. Ouch, right on the wrist.
Marte doesn't wear a pad on that left hand, so that helps.
Come on, Frankie.
Strike stop by Marte and call strike as Fujinami quick enough is delivered and played that time.
The way Lindor was taking that fastball, I think he thought Marte was going to steal a base there.
Disengagement. He's a lefty up in the bullpen. I believe that's Sam Hole. So everybody's going 42, so you're never quite sure. Now back with up by Lindor on a high fastball.
Well, he did have some padding on that wrist, so I think it's just the impact. So Marte is 5 for 6 and stolen bases.
Ball in the dirt as well.
And here's your second disengagement. So a rare time that we have a pitcher who now can no longer throw to first. It's only the second or third time I've seen that this year.
See if Marte runs here.
Have to get it out.
If he doesn't pick him off here,
It's a ball.
he gets second base. Marte's gonna run here. Yep.
He's running the pitch way outside, and Paris is
Safe.
right on the body.
All right, Marte steals the base. Good job.
Good effort by Carlos Carrasco.
He almost got him, too. That was a hell of a throw.
To catch the ball. He made that a very close play at second.
Put something on it too. This ball won't take from the other batter's box. Boy, what an arm on Perez as he almost gets Marte at second base.
6 stolen bases now for Marte, his second of the series. So the tying run in scoring position with nobody out.
All right, Frankie. Base it here can tie the game.
With Alonso on deck. And
Nice. Good eye.
Low,
Oh,
3-2.
it's-
Ball 4. Lindor. That was ball 3. And the home plate umpire, Scott Berry, said they had it wrong on the board.
Oh, they had it wrong on the board. There must have been a clock violation.
It doesn't matter what the board says. He's got the clicker.
Well, they're going to ask New York to check it. First
How does the umpire don't know?
to see if
I thought it was ball 3 too. Let me see. Hold on.
marked down the balls and strikes.
Yeah, it should have been ball 3.
I had 1-2 counts when he
Yeah, me too.
was a ride that-
Yeah, it should be 3-2.
So they- so it's ball 2.
And the next pitch was that.
Right.
That's what I had as well.
So we had one of the other umpires will
Yeah, it's a 3-2 count. The umpire screwed up.
by his opinion.
Whoops.
So everybody had it right except one little player.
Very unusual that Lindor.
Well, I think the umpire said ball 4. And-
Unless the umpire indicated to him that
It's
it's
that straight to, so he's going to
Yeah.
take advantage of the situation.
So the umpire who's supposed to have a clicker
indication, I'm sure
was
he
too
knew
concerned about the board instead. I don't get it. I mean, this is your job, your only job. Strikes and balls.
The umpires have so much more on their plate now with the pitch clock and the disengagements, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe they're just waiting to click the indicator.
Cooperstown, Sherry. All right, upstate New York.
The indicator in his left hand.
And his left hand, they click up for a strike, down for a ball, usually. 2 different readings on it.
So Lindor had to get himself redressed. Gloves back on.
All right.
Shin guard back on.
3-2 count.
Pitch time again, Jeff.
3-2 the count. Marte at second, nobody out. And Lindor
Ground
grounds
ball.
on the right side. That'll
Well,
advance
productive out. Moves Marte over the third with 1 out with Pete Alonso coming up.
Third with 1 away. Productive out by Lindor. Alonso trying to get
Well,
that
they didn't understand the pitch clock. The umpire got the count wrong, which is his only job. which I don't get. All right, Pete, come on. Base hit does the job here too.
Alonso hit one off the facing of the second deck in left field his last time up. His 7th home run of the year.
Infield is in for the A's.
Full windup with a fast man at Marte at third. And Pete grounds one to
Oh,
short.
nice
Nice
play.
backhand
Jesus.
stop by Diaz, and he gets the out.
Anywhere on the ground.
Marte at third.
Got to get it up in the air. Pete swinging at the first
Now
pitch.
he's looking back up the 2-way.
Well, the infield, then you can't go contact even with the great speed of Marte.
Damn it. First pitch swinging.
Pretty easy play there for Diaz. Makes that.
All right. 2 outs,
So that
McNeil,
lays it in the hands of Jeff McNeil.
who's been struggling.
2 today.
Base hit here ties the game.
Marte faking down the line from third, trying to draw a walk from Fujinami.
Come on, Jeff. That's your pitch.
Fastball, nothing but one.
With speed on third, I never want to pitch from the windup. Just go for the stretch because that way you're just looking at the runner. Makes it easy.
And now he will go to the stretch. Frustrating series for McNeil so far.
Turn right here with the big 2 out knock.
Dave's line to left and grounded to first. Tying run at third with 2 out. 6th inning. McNeil grounds one down
God
to first
damn it.
again. Aguilar makes the flip. Fujinami works around.
Lord. God almighty. Middle of the order couldn't get a fucking run in. Ridiculous. Going to the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 A's. Ridiculous. All you needed was a pop-up. That's it. All you needed was to get it to the outfield. Marte would score. Pete Alonso swinging at the first pitch when the guy's not throwing a lot of strikes. McNeil struggling, so lordy lord. I just don't get it. I really don't. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Oakland. Once again, guys, please hit on that like button. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jeff McNeil right now. Again, it's been a stretch now where he's been struggling. Again, you rely on the middle of the order so much because the rest of the lineup is garbage, and that's the problem the Mets are running into today. It's in a situation where Alonso needs to just take his time. There's no reason to swing in at the first pitch there. A sac fly is just as good as a base hit in that spot to tie the game. Pete Alonso got it in chase, looking for the home run ball probably. I mean, it was a pitch to hit. Don't get me wrong. But you could see that he just was anxious on that pitch. PA, I don't care if McNeil's a number 2 hitter or not. The point is, he's batting 5th, where the majority of these people wanted him. He's not a run producer. McNeil has never been a run producer, and we're putting him in spots where we need him to be a run producer. That's why he should be batting 6th or 7th, because that's where he's been best, and that's where he won the batting title last year, batting 6th or 7th. Bottom of the 6th, Carrasco is still in the game. Confidence in Carrasco right now.
Diaz takes a slider out of the strike zone for ball 1. Diaz doubled and scored a run in the 2nd, grounded out of the 4th, 1 for 2. It's 1 run, 3 hits. The A's 2 runs, 4 hits. And Diaz tries to hold the swing, but he went around with the sinker. And it's 1-1. Diaz to Jesus Aguilar and Connor Capel for Oakland in the 6th. Drew Smith is up in the Mets bullpen behind Carrasco.
So if you didn't hear Gary, Drew Smith is warming up in the bullpen. Carrasco has 86 pitches. I think he can get through this inning if he gets a quick inning here. But any type signs of distress, he's coming out of the ball game.
Diaz takes a slider down and away. It's 3-1.
Ken, I just think you just got to move him to the 6th and 7th spot. He's not a 5 hitter. You're putting him in spots where you need him to be a run producer. He's just not that guy. Oh, and he hits the batter. Oy vey. Jesus Christ. Who knew in California it's Pinata Day? Holy Christ. Not what you wanted to start the inning. And Showalter is taking him out. Good move by Buck. Don't even waste time. Bring in Drew Smith.
Again, we talked about a control pitcher that misses on the other side of the plate, not even close. It clips Diaz.
So Carrasco leaves after 88 pitches.
All right, so it was a quality start against a bad A's team. Five plus, 5 innings, 2 runs, not great. Again, I take that from Carrasco, thinking that the Mets would actually score runs, but guess not. Well, Jay, yeah, I mean, yeah, potentially our 5 hitters in AAA. Again, I don't care what you do in AAA. I don't care if you bat 400 in AAA. I mean, he should be up here. I agree with you. But just because he's hitting 400 in AAA doesn't mean you throw him in the 5th spot and he's going to be good. We just don't know. We all hope he's going to be that person, that guy we need, but we just don't know. It'd be nice if they freaking send him up already. That would be nice, but it's just frustrating because, this is the type of situation where I don't care who's in the lineup. You're playing the A's. Get it done. I'm sorry, 5 innings, 2 runs from Carrasco, from what Carrasco has been doing, it's a quality start. 2 runs should be more than enough for the Mets to score more than those runs to win this ballgame. And they're through 6 innings and they have 1 run off of a solo homer from Alonso. So Drew Smith is coming in for the Mets. 1 runner on. Carrasco, last batter face, he hits him to lead off the inning.
You want that like that? When you have it? So good.
No, just on sandwich.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's see if Drew Smith can get out of a early jam for him.
Goes on to relieve it.
I was saying during the break, great combination of older starting pitchers with the inexperience.
I agree, Matt.
Other starting pitchers.
Oh, well, no, Matt, I agree. But again, if he gives you 5 innings, 2 runs against the Braves, I take that every day of the week against the Braves, but he probably won't. But against the A's, 2 runs, he's like, all right, Messi scored 3-4 runs. But, there you go. Come on, Drew. What I worry about here with a runner on with Drew, pitcher from the stretch, is that, he's the guy that can walk some batters here when he gets a little wild. He's not starting from a clean inning, which worries me a little bit. Come on, Drew. Got to get that ball up on Aguilar. Aguilar's a low ball hitter. Get a ground ball or get no play.
I mean, that's useful in that, if you see a guy with a high ERA, he's had 1 game where he gave up 5 runs and he was great at the others. So it's useful in that respect. The probably doesn't reflect the inherent.
Come on, Drew, let's go. There you go. Keep that ball up.
A reliever give up 3 spot in an inning. Might not get that rate down until the All-Star break.
I agree, Joe, but you know what? At the same time, you had your big boys up. They didn't get the job done. It's the guys you want up with runners on. Come on, Drew. Double play. Yeah, all right, Pete. Nice play. Check swing right to Alonso, and Alonso tears first for the double play. Perfect. Exactly what the doctor ordered. That's how you write it up on a scorecard right there. That was a hell of a play by Pete. Well, he didn't get the RBI, but he kind of saved the double down the line. That's a hell of a play. That's exactly how you wrote it up. Yeah, Jay, I agree. Listen, you got 3 more innings here, 3 more at-bats. 3 more chances to score some runs here. Get it done. Well, Ken, it's better than Vogelback Guillermo and Alvarez. Joe, I do. But the game should be over, in about hopefully a half hour or so. So, watch the Knicks game, then go to bed. It wasn't like last night. I hadn't even sleep. Go ahead, Drew. Popped it up. Out of play? Yes, it is.
Which is not great, but at least it's heading in the right direction.
Well, Matt, the problem with that is that he has Goldschmidt in the National League. And Goldschmidt is a gold glove.
So we have confirmed it's the first time in Carrasco's career.
Ken, no, I don't. Joe, on average, especially with the baseball season going on, 3, maybe, occasionally 4. Yeah, all right, Drew, good job. Drew Smith gets out of that inning and going to the top of the 7th. Still 2-1 A's. Once again, guys, we got 100 in the stream right now. We appreciate it, guys. West Coast trips always do well on this channel, so I do appreciate it. Once again, guys, if you're new to the channel, say what's up in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're a Mets fan or a baseball fan of another team. Let me know in the comments, guys, and you get a shout-out on this channel. You always do. And once again, guys, Mets offense is anemic once again. It'd be nice, again, 5 innings, 2 runs from Carrasco. You would take it against this team, considering the fact that you would just assume that the Mets have scored 3 runs, 4 runs. I mean, they scored freaking 17 yesterday. Could have saved a couple of runs for today, but I guess not. Offense has got to wake up. The bottom of the order is up. We got 6, 7, 8. We got Canna, Vogelback, and Guillorme. See if there's a little bit of a pitch hitting, depending on who. I don't know if Fujiyama is going to come back in to the game or they're going to take him out. I think his pitch count was kind of up there. Joe, that's the only time I do. So we'll see what happens if Fujiyama is coming out of the game, depending on, again, the bullpen is terrible for the A's. So, and they used a lot of bullpen yesterday. So going to see if, they do have Trevor May. But other than that, everybody seemed to pitch in that bullpen. Well, Julio, the only options you have right now is the guys you have in the minors. It's just a matter of when they're going to bring them up. And if you guys were here for the pregame, I said I think there's a problem right now between Epler and Buck. Buck is a guy who's a stickler for playing the veterans. And I think Epler wants the kids up. But why bring them up if you see Buck is not going to play these kids? What's the point? Working out, Ken. Working out. So far. So here we go, guys. 6, 7, 8 for the Mets. I think Oklahoma, Fujiyama's in the game still. So see if the Mets can get him later in this game.
Greatest leadoff hitter of all time.
Maybe the most physically gifted player I've ever played with. That's
Ken, again, Epler can bring him up, but that doesn't. He's not going to make Buck play him if he's not playing Alvarez the way he should be playing him. PBO, watching from England. Awesome. Love it. So I'm assuming you're a part of the UK Mets that has a big following on Twitter.
Make a great catch.
Oh, yeah. Get out. Yeah. All right, Mark. There you go. Mark Canna ties the ball game with a home run to left field. Who says he's a 4th outfielder? Mark Canna has the flair for the dramatics, baby. Did it in Philly last year and did it in Oakland today. His old haunting grounds. Tie game. Who says the bottom of the order don't hit? Come on. Mark, Ken. Let's go. 2-2. Turn on that, baby. He says, nobody wants to do the job. I'll do the job. Who knows? Maybe Vogelback will hit a home run. Oh, my God. Pitch calm is a problem?
Yeah.
Once again, you just tuned in. Pete excuse me, I didn't say Pete. I almost said Pete Alonso. Mark Canha hits the solo home run to lead off the seventh to tie the ball game.
So see, the ball's supposed to be away, but he got inside of it, so he rushed in.
Canha knew it. Flipped the bat. Tell you, when Canha hits his home runs, man, they're in big spots. Oh, his 14, 15 home runs seem like they come on spots like this almost all the time. Come on, Vogie, hit one over the wall. Trevor May is up. A little bit too late. The highest paid A on the team. Well, at least Vogelback swung the bat. Yeah, Vogelback's either going to walk, strike out, or ground out. Come on, Vogie. You know, honestly, in this spot with nobody out, I don't mind taking a walk from Vogelback here because then you can pinch run from with Castro and or Tommy Pham, and then there's your DH. In this situation here, would you probably pinch run for him if he gets on? Would probably Pham. Come on, Vogie. Don't take a pitch right down the middle, please. Swing at the pitch. All right. Well, he finally swings at a 3-1, and it's outside the zone. All right, 3-2. All right. This is a situation where I don't mind the walk. They're probably going to pinch run. They're going to. All right, they're taking him out. Yep, Fujiyami's coming out. Yep, there you go. Pham's running for Vogelback. Pitching change is happening, and the Mets got a man on with nobody out. So there's opportunity here. The Mets can take the lead here in the seventh with our bullpen that's pretty damn good from seven, with Ottavino and Robinson available and Raley available. And Pham is running for Vogelback. So that's the spot where I thought you would get. And that's a spot right there where you either want a home run for Vogelback or a walk. Because that's a situation there where you need a base runner. It's a tie game late in the ball game. Now you're going to pinch run Tommy Pham, who's pretty quick. And, if the order comes back around, Tommy Pham is your DH. And Tommy Pham has actually been good this year. Yeah, Joe, at this point, LaCastro is starting to be – and that's the thing that I was saying before. Like, that's the big reason why they're probably going to keep – if they do decide to bring up Beatty and Mauricio, Escobar is still going to be on this team. He's going to be a bench player. LaCastro and Vogelback are expendable. If they don't accept the minor league option, you get rid of them. And if nobody picks them up, which somebody probably will, you got Mauricio and Beatty. I don't see the point of not bringing these guys up at this point. But at the moment, we worry about this game because this game matters. Yeah, and I wasn't very happy with the Tommy Pham signing because it seemed like it was the last option for Epler when he let everybody else go everywhere else, the Bells of the world, the Duvals of the world. And, obviously Correa fell through, and then Tommy Pham was the guy the Mets got. But Tommy Pham has been decent this year. He hasn't been great, but he's been good. So we'll see if Tommy Pham looking like maybe he'll steal a base. And again, Fujiyami's out of the game. Another Trevor May's coming into the game for the A's. And we'll see if Luis Guillorme can get it done here. I don't know if they're bringing in a lefty. If they're bringing in a lefty, would the Mets put Escobar in as a right-handed batter instead of Guillorme? We'll see.
Push-ups, sit-ups, and light jogging.
Never lifted.
All right, so Trevor May is in, and Guillorme is batting.
Trevor May, who pitched the last 2 years for the Mets, is on to pitch for the A's.
Luis, let's go.
Facing Luis Guillorme with a runner at first and nobody out.
I think everybody has a pretty good idea that Alvarez is going to come up with runners on here. Another spot where runners on.
You're talking about Ricky, not Trevor.
Same thing with me, Jay. I wasn't happy with it, but he's been good, and you got to give him credit.
Trevor is a big guy himself. Ricky's Ricky.
Trevor May is throwing his changeup
Come
more
on.
than ever this year. The guy who has always lived with his high fastball, but he has really refined what he's doing this season.
Well, he's trying to be more of a crossover guy that can get lefties out equally as well as right-handers.
His velocity is way down. It was a 96 average fastball velocity last year. He's been 94 this year. You can see his numbers early in the season. Not been good. The runner goes.
Pham is running. Safe. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. It is Tim Castro. Yeah, they said Tommy Pham as well. So it's not Pham. It's LaCastro that pinch ran for Vogelbach. And he just stole second base. So runner in scoring position with nobody out. Base hit here should score LaCastro. Oh, this is why LaCastro is important too. He gets those big stolen bases. Base hit here should take the lead for the Mets. Come on, Guillorme, let's go. Takes another pitch down the middle. Jesus Christ. Come on, Luis, base it.
It was only in 26 games with the Mets last year. It was injuries, 68 games the year before.
All right, stay alive. Yeah, I know, Ken. I mean, he's made every stolen base for the Mets look really close. I mean, LaCastro got a great jump, and he almost got him. Alvarez is on deck, 0 for 2 today. Base hit here should give the Mets the lead. Got to put the ball in play here, or even take a walk.
Pay attention to what he throws, what sequences he uses.
What does the midfielder like Guillorme have to know?
Not his sequences of what he throws. They're just getting prepared to field the ground ball.
3-2 coming. Struck him out. Got him with the change.
Anything but a strikeout. Jesus Christ. Oh, here you go again. Alvarez with another man in scoring position.
That's how we worked on it. But hitters pay very little attention to pitchers.
This situation here, all you need is a base hit.
Push to the side and
All you need is a base hit.
pay attention to him. So when they face him,
Well, when Guillorme looks at a 3-1 fastball right down the middle, put yourself in a spot there. All right.
100%.
Come on, Frankie. Let's go.
Would have had a chance to catch May last year. We'll see if it works for him. Cisco's 0 for 2 today. He's popped up and struck out. Castro at second with 1 out. And a fastball he threw it by him. It was 1-1.
Wasn't looking. He was late on that fastball. That ball was right down the middle. Jeez.
They had up and down years for the Mets. After success in Minnesota. Still trying to find his footing in Oakland.
Another fastball Baston. Well, I've been talking about it since Alvarez came up. He has such a long swing, and sometimes that does not translate to the major leagues. They'll exploit that every single time in the majors.
More chance for Alvarez to offer if it's up and in, not up and away.
And one deck, Kemp trying to keep LaCastro close in second. And Alvarez gets a breaking ball and pops it up. Aguilar shading his eyes and grabs it. 2 out. Those fastballs down out with the slider.
It happens sometimes in this game is when pitchers make the wrong choice with the slider. got kind of a slider speed bat right now, but he did not throw a good one. Kind of hung it, stayed in the middle of the
All right.
plate, and that's how it folded.
See if Brandon Nimmo can get it done here. He's 1 for 3. Nimmo's had 3 good at-bats
The
today.
Mets in the 6th inning got a runner in scoring position with nobody out, couldn't get him in. And after the home run by Canada tied it, they got a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the 7th. That's a 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. Nimmo's in baseball's heart of this game. 1 for 3. He rifles that one down the right.
Yes!
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. That's an RBI double, and the Mets take the lead. There you go, Brandon. There we go. 3-2 Mets. Brandon Nimmo. Clutch. Brandon Nimmo with the bat. Nimmo over the last couple of games has been extremely hot and gets that 2-out RBI that has been so hard to get. 0 for 6 for the Mets today, and it's now 1 for 7. Nimmo gets the job done, takes the lead, and now the Mets are in prime position to take back this game. Marte up. See if we can get another run here. A little bit of a cushion.
Marte takes a slider for a strike.
Ken, I never talked about Nimmo's offense as a problem.
That ball would tail foul, and it never did.
Come on, Starlin. Oh, get out. Fucking Christ. Wow. Jesus Christ. Marte has gotten no luck. I never said his offense, Ken. Well, Mets do take the lead. Nice catch by Laureano. And the Mets take a 3-2 lead with a Canna home run to tie it and a Brandon Nimmo 2-out RBI double. That was a nice catch. Marte got robbed like 3 times today already. So now it's up to the Mets bullpen. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Raleigh, Ottavino, Robertson, or that combination somehow. So the Mets have the lead. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get it done. Let's get the series win and then go for the sweep tomorrow. 3 innings to go. No, well, what? Yeah. No, he does. He doesn't have no power. That's not power. A ball down the line is not power. He has 0 home runs this year. Like let's calm down. And he is a 260 hitter. Like let's be honest. I mean, he finally got his average up over 200 the last couple of days. But Nimmo's offense is not the problem. Andre, I've been saying that for a while. And yeah, Ken, the Mets have been hitting bullets all game. Either right at somebody or it's just warning track power. So we're just waiting for the commercial break. The Mets took the lead in the 7th. See if they can close it out with their bullpen that has been solid this year. No. I don't think he's more than a 260 hitter. I mean, he was batting under 200 like 3 days ago. Oh, I don't think he's Javi Baez 2.0. I already said this from the beginning. I think people are looking way too much into Alvarez. I don't think that he's going to be much of an average guy. I think he's going to be, a guy that probably will, run into a few. And Drew Smith is still on the mound. Interesting. All right, 3-2 lead for the Mets, bottom 7. Smith is still in the game. Raley's in the bullpen. Agree, Ken. Nice pitch. Can the Mets get a 1-2-3 in here and get the offense back out there?
Line drive, double play on a check swing by Aguilar. In the 6th, then he struck out Connor Cable after he came on Carrasco. He asked for a little bit more here. Zach Jackson is the right-hander up in
Agreed, Ken. I don't see why we just don't bring up Michael Perez. That was a nice pitch, but he fouled it off.
Halftime scoreboard is brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem.
Well, the big bad Philadelphia Phillies are losing to the Cincinnati Reds 8-0.
Phillies won yesterday.
So everybody who just assumes that the Philadelphia Phillies are just a juggernaut, they're not. They're the same old Philly way, the way they were last year. And the Padres, Mets, are kind of have them wavering a little bit. They can't find their groove anymore either. Jake, don't you love them? There you go. All right, Drew. Good job. You know, Drew Smith has been known for being really good in April. It's just, if he stays healthy, can he continue it throughout the year? I agree, Jose. I said that from the beginning. Everybody's like, you know, Turner, all the home runs he hit in the WBC, he has none. Or he has one. Come on, Drew. 1, 2, 3 in there. Get that offense back there. Henry, you can easily put him on the 40-man. You can always take one of those guys off the 40-man.
Down 2-0 in this game. Alonso homered in the fourth, Canna homered in the seventh, and then VENMO drove in the go-ahead run, double in that seventh.
Once again, Brooks Raley is warming up in the bullpen, just in case I think if Drew Smith gets into trouble here. Nice pitch.
Takes a big rip of the fastball right down the middle. It's 2-2. He's not a home run hitter. Mets baseball is brought to you by the Rehab Doctor. For a free home improvement estimate, call 800-600-54.
Drew, let's go.
Coming in Ruiz. Long hold line through. This is outside.
PA, that's not the point. The point is that the Phillies got hot for a month and rode it to the playoffs, just like the Mets did in 2015, just like the Nationals did in 2019, the same way the Braves did in 2021. That's the point.
The only reason I know that is because,
Well, Jose, they can at least fix two of those with just bringing up Mauricio and David. Will they do that? We'll see. 24 pitches for Drew.
I love that when they set up the booth area, they said, okay, where should we put the play-by-play guy? Let's put him right behind the pole.
right behind the pole.
By the way, I have an unfettered view. It's beautiful.
I wouldn't want you to be fettered. Eighth pitch of the bat to Ruiz, and he is hit by
And
the
he clips him, and he takes the base.
Second time Ruiz has been hit.
I think Vientos is doing good, but I think Mauricio and Beatty are taking a spotlight.
Ruiz, Brooks Raley into the game to face Tony Kemp.
Oh, and Buck's coming out again. As soon as he saw any trouble with Drew Smith, Raley's coming in. So Drew Smith gets one out and then hits the batter. And Brooks Raley is coming in from the bullpen. You know, Ken, it was funny. I was talking about that with one of my friends at my job about Drew Smith, about a changeup. Funny you brought that up. Because, you know, he's got a nice slider, but he's a fastball slider guy. He has a changeup that 87, 88 miles an hour that looks like a fastball. Drew Smith can be even better. I'm surprised that, you know, even last year, you know, with all the guys like, you know, having Bassett and DeGrom, Scherzer, all those guys talking together, I'm surprised that Drew Smith hasn't developed the changeup, or anybody would tell him to. I mean, maybe he's tried it and doesn't like the way it feels in his hand. I don't know. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, you can always try to throw a pitch and maybe it just doesn't feel right coming out of your hand. You don't feel right with the grip, and that's it. You know, you just stop throwing it or stop trying to throw it. You know, and he's a guy that's prone for walks. Maybe he just can't throw it for strikes. I don't know. But we are here right now in the bottom of the seventh. The Mets lead 3-2. Canna with a home run in the seventh to tie the game, and Brandon Nimmo with a clutch 2-out RBI double to give the Mets the lead. And the Mets are in the bottom of the seventh now. We're rarely coming in with 1 out and 1 runner on. No. I think it's Telez you're talking about. Yeah, no. Yeah. Jay, I don't even think it's about not being ready. When you're the number 1 overall prospect in baseball, you should be a lot more of a overall better hitter, not just a home run guy. Like, how many guys can hit 30 home runs and bat 200? Like, I don't want that type of hitter. Like, that does nothing for us. The problem is he has a long swing and he's not adjusting. That doesn't take time in the minor leagues. You should know that as a hitter. First pitch, and that should be an out, and it is 2 outs. 1 pitch, 1 out for Rayleigh.
Well, you get double your value here. Really. Not only do you have lefty,
and if you have a long swing in the majors, you will get exploited if you don't change it. We were talking about this with Alonso in 2021. He developed a long swing, and that slider and that inside fastball up and in, he couldn't catch up to anything. If Alvarez doesn't shorten up that swing, he's not going to be a major leaguer. It's just that simple. All right, 2 outs, 1 man on. Kevin Smith up as the pinch hitter. So Hefner is coming to the mound to get a scouting report on the pinch hitter. Interesting. So, guys, if you are Knicks fans, the next game has started. Game 1 of the playoffs for the Knicks against the Cavaliers. Yeah, and you know what's funny, Jose? He was on the same level, apparently, as Rauchman. He and Alvarez were 1-2. And it's not even close. And I think Rauchman is around the same age, maybe a year older. And again, if and when Alvarez goes back down, they need to shorten up his swing. Well, Ken, that's true. I think 4 out of his 7 were solo home runs, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Joe, if it is, it is, and that's fine. He's better than Alvarez. What is it, Rutschman? Okay, sure. Well, Jose, I wouldn't say that. I mean, the Mets did develop Alonso, Nimmo, and McNeil, right? People seem just to put that over their head when they talk about Mets farm system. Oh, he picked them off and he fooled Alonso too. He had him picked off. Damn. He fooled Alonso too.
I think what Pete thought, and it hit him right in the left knee. I think Pete thought Ruiz was going to go, and he was coming to beat the ball and make the throw. And Ruiz never went. Hit him square.
Damn it. Well, he's going to run here because that's the second attempt, huh?
And now he runs. The pitch is low.
Yeah. All right, still second. Got to be careful here.
So he steals the bag. It's third of the year. Now the time running scoring position. That would have been the first time and a good time to throw over. Because he was going to go because of the third disengagement issue. So why not throw over anyways? Walk in the second.
All right, so the batter got a pitch clock violation. Now it's 2-2.
So that makes it 2-2.
did. I did think so.
And really strikes him out.
Throw it to first.
Will make the toss to first. A high throw. Alonso
Oh,
back into the bag
Jesus
and
Christ.
just got there in time. I don't think Alvarez realized it was strike 3 at first, because he didn't realize it had been a clock violation called against Smith with the second strike. And now the home plate umpire, Scott Barrett, is
All right,
explaining
we
it.
got out of the inning. Woof.
That's the end of the inning.
That was almost a freaking disaster. And the Mets get out of the 7th with yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, so he is 3 years older. Yeah, I listen. But you know what? When you hear Alvarez, what people were talking about with him offensively, he's right up there with Rutschman, right? So yeah,
Not even close.
yeah, it's not even close at the moment. Again, he is 3 years younger. I agree with that. But the way they did, listen, you're not the number 1 overall prospect, and you have holes in your swing like that. It's not that bad. Like, I know Julio Rodriguez struggled the first month coming out of the gate last year, but you don't struggle like that and be a number 1 overall prospect. It makes no sense. So, top of the 8th, Mets lead 3-2. Mets made a little bit of a fun time with that, with the pitch clock that it became 2-2, and then he swung and missed, and Alvarez almost threw it away, and the runner was coming around third, and my God, that would have been a disaster if they scored. Jose, no, he's not. It's going to be Kevin Parada. I've said that from day one. As soon as they drafted Kevin Parada is already way better catcher than Francisco Alvarez, and he's already hitting a lot better right now. I know it's early and it's high A ball, but he's already becoming and getting better hitting wise quickly. I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be shocked. 2024, 2025, if Parada jumps through the minor league system, if he ends up in Double-A by the end of this year, don't be shocked if he has a chance of making this team next year. I'll tell you that right now. I agree, Jose. I said that earlier in the pregame. Mike, yeah, I agree. Here we go. Top of 8, Lindor's leading off 3-2 Mets.
Francisco Lindor fouls off his first offering. Kevin Smith stays in the game at shortstop. Ledmus Diaz moves to third.
No, Jay, Parada got a great arm. It's not as strong as Alvarez, but it's accurate. And his pop-up time to throw out a runner, his pop-up time is almost a half a second quicker than Alvarez. You don't need a great arm if you have a pop-up time like that.
And just a moment ago, we had Alvarez not realizing it was strike 3.
All right, come on.
There's something going on in this ballpark. Maybe it's got to be the curse of the impossible. It's almost like there's a full moon over this place.
Lindor pops it up.
Up on the infield, and Kevin Smith under and waiting.
1 out.
One Hanson, 1 out.
All right, Ken, here goes your Pete Alonso. Solo home run coming. Nobody on base.
54 games for the A's rookie season last year. This may shock you, but he walked on guys last year.
He's the Rule 5 guy that we had to keep in the big leagues. 54 games, and now an important part of that bullpen.
I mean, certain things he did great last year. 48 innings.
Yeah, Ken, I'll take it too. Give a little bit of a cushion for Ottavino Robinson combination, 8-9. Uh-oh. No, ended the bat. Uh-oh, they're going to hit each other. Oh, 2 outs. He hit that off the end of the bat. He hit that almost 400 feet, and he hit it off the end of the bat. I thought they were going to collide. All right, 2 outs. McNeil up.
So Jackson's retired the first two. Jeff McNeil is 0 for 3 today and 0 for 7 in this series.
Jeff's got to get going a little bit. I have a feeling Jeff's going to be swinging for the fences here.
Zach Jackson reminds me a little of Kevin Apier. The way he just doesn't even look at the catcher. And then lets the ball go.
Straight over the top like Colt Mentor.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Ken, I would not be shocked.
Strike McNeil 2-1. Jintaro Fujinami went 6 innings plus, longest guy in the big leagues. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. May able to go ahead.
Should end the inning.
Green's looking through the sunglasses, catching.
All right, so that was a quick 1, 2, 3 for the Mets in the top of the 8th. Going to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see who's going to be coming out. Is it going to be Ottavino or Robinson? Bucks has been changing it up a little bit over the last week or so. I do think Robertson is probably going to close, but we'll see. So, once again, guys, consistently over 100 viewers throughout the stream. Once again, you guys are golden when it comes to West Coast games. Always supporting the channel. I do appreciate that. So, if you're just tuning in or you've been hanging out and you forgot to hit that like button, please do. And just so you guys know, for the subscribers that gave donations to the channel and also members of the channel, the giveaway video is officially done. Picking my day on when to do it. I might do it during the Dodger and Giant West Coast during that series, right after the Dodger series into the Giant series, and post that video, and you'll see who won the giveaway. And of course, it's a free Met shirt of any color, black, blue, orange, with any player name on black shirt, whatever, black, blue, and orange shirt, whatever you want, with whatever player name you want. Which nice shirt, Ken? I have a lot of them. I think McNeil's 100%. I just think he's struggling. Well, you know what? What Buck has been doing, and I think Buck has been doing a really good job this year with the bullpen. It depends on the lineup. If he thinks that, if there's tough lefties, Robinson might come out for the 8th because Ottavino has a little bit of trouble with lefties. If there's a couple of 3 righties in a row, I think Ottavino will come out for the 8th. Yeah, Oakland is a mess, but they're hanging in there today. That's for sure. So they're going through the play of the game, which is the VENMO RBI at the moment is the play of the game, giving the Mets the lead in the top of the 7th. Let's see if and Ottavino is on the mound for the 8th. So there's your answer, guys.
Building upon that great season he had last year, he's gotten off to a quick start.
Yeah, Ken, I said that earlier. The big bag of Phillies losing 8-0 to a terrible team. At least the Mets getting blown out by an actual good team in the Brewers. This is like the 3rd game where the Phillies have got blown out by a bad team. Come on, Otto, let's go. Finish this up.
We saw last night.
Any team, any team, can beat any other team on any given day.
The 62 Mets won 40 games,
right? Joe Rudy. I think I'm the only one that got that, Ken.
They walked 17 last night. They've only won 1 today. That's a start.
1-2 coming to Rooker.
Wow, you saw that slider move? Holy Christ.
Carlos Carrasco with 5.
I think we played the Phillies in May. May or June? No, May at Citi Field, I believe.
Got 2 outs in the 7th, and now Ottavino in the 8th. And the slider fouled off. Hang in there.
Oh, yeah, Jose, yeah, I heard about that.
Robinson in the 8th, Seventh pitch coming. And Rooker fouls off another slider. So you're Ottavino facing a young hitter throwing your best pitch several times in a row. What point do you throw something else?
Well, he's a hot hitter. I think he'll do it right now. He's going to throw that comeback maybe on the outside corner. Starts off the corner and tries to catch it.
So this is well outside of it. It's pulled down. That pitcher's walked only one today. 21 walks last night, only 2 today. Ninth pitch of the at-bat, 3-2 coming to Rooker. And he missed with a slider for ball 4.
Ottavino walks the leadoff man.
By Rooker. Foul play Ottavino's best offering to work out the walk, and the A's at the time were on base. April 29th, the first 15,000 fans of the Mets PreGame will receive a handmade by robots Mr. Met figurine or Bomba. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets.
It's a pinch runner there. I just don't know who it is.
Probably Tyler Wade, I would think.
Yep.
Former Yankee Tyler Wade, who was added to the roster yesterday. He's got terrific speed.
Come on, Otto, let's go.
So here's Laureano. Wade taking a healthy lead at first. Ottavino always susceptible to the stolen base. Takes a long hold here and try to freeze Wade, but he's taking off anyway. And the pitch outside. Alvarez is throw from his knees.
And Tyler Wade's still second. Ottavino's terrible with holding runners on.
It always makes them vulnerable, especially after the walk to lead off the inning. Kudos to Wade. Long to steal a base, and he doesn't.
Carefully, Mike's still third. Nah, Mike, they're not testing him. They stole that on the pitcher. I don't think you have to steal on the testing Alvarez anymore, or testing any catcher. The jumps they get, it doesn't matter. The catchers almost have no chance. Ground ball. Keeps him at second. Good job. 1 out.
That was a ball where if Wade reacted better, maybe he might have been able to advance.
Yeah, no, it was the kind of play that was right at him. When you're talking, the ball is right at you. If you're the runner on second taking that lead, you go back to second. But it wasn't hit that hard. So with his speed, if he reacted right away, I think that Lindor would still have to go first.
All right, Otto, let's go.
Diaz. Big out for Ottavino without the runner advancing. He gets it on the hands of Diaz and fouls it off 0-1. Diaz had a double score run.
No, it's actually like a figurine made out of like yarn, I guess. I don't have no idea.
Danny Jimenez for the A's. Diaz
Pops it up.
Pops it up.
Come on, Frankie, get there. Yeah, nice play. All right, Francisco, good job. That's not an easy play. He's not used to that, all that foul territory. All right, 2 quick outs after that. That's good.
Well, the unusual part of this play, Gary, is that most catchers will take their mass controller away, making it a little easier to see that ball and make the catch.
2 hands. I like to see it.
And with 2 hands, able to corral that play. Good play by Alvarez.
Now Ryan Dodo back for Jesus Aguilar. The left-handed bat against Ottavino. Dodo started at first base last night with 0 for 4 with a walk.
Alvarez's defense, maybe he didn't feel he had time to throw it away because you have to get over there so quickly.
The configuration of this ballpark plays such a role in your actions. Chasing those pop-ups is an entirely different deal. So here's Noda, and he has to move his feet on that first cutter from Ottavino. 0-1.
It's another hit batter.
So walking to steal, put a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and ground down the pop-up, and Ottavino with a path through this inning. 1-0 to Noda. And again, he has to move his feet on the cutter, and it's 2-0.
You see, Ottavino really belong in his hands. So the effects of this kind of temperature here, he doesn't have a good feel for the ball.
Behind 2-0. Connor Cable would be next.
Oh, he
He
went.
goes right back to the same
Yeah.
pitch and gets a swinging strike.
Good call, Blue.
How about that? And I saw the umpire's third base. I didn't think he went to see what he's looking at. Does he see?
Oh, he didn't go. But we got the call. I'll take it.
Call it. Check it
Snap
out.
to the back. When you do that, it looks like a real pitch when you snap to the back.
Not throwing his fastball. 4 sliders in a row.
Spot, and that was behind 3-1.
Oh, that sucks. A lot of people couldn't. Tyler Wade steals third base. Now it's a 3-2 count.
It's made no mind to Wade, so after stealing second, he now is on 3rd and 2 out. 3-2 count to Noda. Now Noda uses his timeout.
Here is where you want to remind your young catcher, right? Anything in the dirt, you got to get in front of.
Tying run at 3rd with 2 down. 3-2 to Noda.
Oh, what was that pitch? That was a hell of a pitch. He was not taking that bat off his shoulder.
That's good at bat by Noda.
Come on.
Cable's 0 for 3 today. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. He's a hot hitter.
Ottavino struggling here with location.
Killed the Mets in his previous 4 games against them. He's batting here with the tying and potential go-ahead runs on base. 3-2 New York, bottom of the 8th. And Cable takes
The dangerous hitter right here. He's killed the Mets.
Shaded with a roar right up the middle, but pinched with McNeil, who's not playing in the hole, or straight up at second base.
They in on the grass at 3rd.
All right, get me over slider.
Capable of holding on a fastball from Ottavino running away. Shortstop hole, and it's slider down and in. If he gets to it, he's looking for the hole between McNeil and the box.
He's 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position today. 2 for 16 in the series. 1-1 coming to Cable.
Oof.
Fouls off the slider, and it's 1-2.
That was a hanger. That was not a good pitch.
All those putters to Noda.
He's not throwing his fastball. It's all sliders.
Slider to get a couple strikes on Cable.
Any of those cutters will not hurt the ball. Make your line.
Ottavino with a 1-2 coming to Cable. Runner goes from first. And he scores the
Ooh.
one down. Noda was on.
That was a good pitch.
He's already scored 2 bases in the second.
You notice Nola in the Mets infield. As you see him now, base as well.
24 pitches in this inning. He'll have to throw at least 1 more to Cable. 1-2 coming. Noda runs, and it's fouled off again. His best
Ottavino
fastball.
throwing a lot of
Cable
pitches.
was equal to it. Noda will come back. To it. Noda will come back.
And the reason why a team would not defend that sort of base, especially when you keep your infielders at their positions, give them the best chance to make a play. That's their reason.
25 pitches for Ottavino.
Good inning for Ottavino.
Come on.
2 walks, 2 steals. He's ahead on Cable 1-2. Noda runs. And backward breaking ball misses. 2-2.
Extra runner in scoring position now. Basic can give them the lead.
Now tying and the lead runs are both in scoring position. Wade in 3rd, Noda in 2nd. 2-2 from Ottavino to Cable. Stop the swing on a cutter running in. Now it's 3-2.
Oh, Lord.
Perez, the catcher, will be next.
He's not throwing anything but a slider. I don't get it.
Out the field here against the left-handed hitter. Oakland will not give in. He's still trying to make his pitch, and if it's ball, and he'll take his chances with the catcher.
Great game, good run there.
Got him. Well, he kept on going back to the slider and finally got him fishing.
That's the good one. He threw it up the end, and it dropped.
That was his best slider.
Not throwing it at his knees and dropped.
Got him out of the inning, and still 3-2 Mets going to the top of the ninth. Well, as you know, David Robinson's coming in to close the ninth, depending on if the Mets score a couple more runs or still have a lead. We'll see. Or still give up, be in a save situation here. So once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to this Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th on this Saturday. Thank you for hanging out during this Mets versus A's watch party right here on Talking Mets and Rob. Keep on coming back for more, guys. I will be with you again tomorrow, same time, for the finale. Hopefully the Mets will be going for the sweep. That would be nice. That would be ideal. That would be what we want. It's not the way you would want a game to be. Mets coming back late to take the lead, but you'll take it. Alan, listen, I see it as this. Look, if you look at the games the A's played all year, again, when you play young teams, again, after you score this amount of runs, you're going to have a team try to do their best. And again, it's not like we had, Scherzer or Verlander or any dominant pitcher on the mound. We had Carrasco on the mound. So, we could talk about this, the defense, the pitching. The offense should score more runs, absolutely. But Fujiyama actually threw strikes, and he has good stuff. It happens. But as long as you win the ball game, it really doesn't matter how you win. And I've said that many times. Too many people focus on how you win. I think you need to ask the question, did we win? That's it. I think that's the problem with a lot of – and like I said, I understand it shouldn't be this hard, but a W is a W. Again, when you're in September, are you going to go back to April that the Mets won 17-6, or are you going to go that they won 3-2? It doesn't matter because they're both W's. That's the most important thing. So with that said, we're going to the top of the ninth. The Mets will have up Canna, Vogelback, and Locastro. I'm assuming Tommy Pham might bat in that situation. We'll see. I'm sorry, Canna, Locastro, Guillermo, excuse me. And Canna tying up the ball game in the 7th with a solo home run. See if we can get some insurance runs here. Judah, most likely, sometime during the Mets homestand at the end of the month. Either during the Nationals or Braves series. Frank, we're not giving up on him, but there's signs that should be changed in the minors that he has not done yet. Because he has success in the minors, he hasn't changed his swing. Kind of check swing, should be one out. Thank you for the update, Alien. Mix her up.
It just gives you an idea.
All right, Tim Locastro is batting in the Vogelback spot since he pinch ran for him.
Integrated the game because he was so far ahead.
All right.
Jackie Robinson, you don't have the civil rights movement the same way in the late 50s and the
Good start. Castro pops it up. That might be trouble. 2 outs.
bullpen catchers were thinking there.
It used to be that there were a number of ballparks where the bullpens were on the field. This is now one off. Because Luis Guillorme, who's 0 for 2 in a walk. Danny Jimenez fires a fastball for a strike, nothing run.
Oh, due to that freaking Canna hit a home run to tie the game, so we wouldn't be in this spot to win the game if it wasn't for him to tie it.
And the lead it to Robertson to tie it protected at the bottom of the ninth. With 8, 9, and 1 on the order coming up. The Mets are back on Pix 11 this season. Now you can stream the games on Pix11.com. If you're in the New York area, just go to Pix11.com/Mets Live and catch all the action. To the Guillorme and fastball away 1-2.
Man, Jimenez got a good breaking ball. Straight over the top.
This is inside. 2-2.
Oh, Luis, keep it going.
Alvarez would be next. And that curveball bounces away, and it's 3-2. Well, they tied a career high with 3 walks last night. He's walked again today. And only 2 walks given up by Oakland pitching. And he tackles that one to right field. Laureano coming toward the line.
Oh, nice catch. And that retires the inning. And David Robertson is coming in to close it for the Mets. Last licks for the A's. And the Mets are trying to win another series. It would be, 4 out of 5 for the start of the season. And would take the series and look for the sweep tomorrow and the first sweep of the year if they take care of business in the ninth with David Robinson on the mound. Once again, guys, if you have not hit on that like button, you guys know what to do. Hit on that like button. And I noticed people are starting to send donations to my Venmo now. That's good. That's an easier way for a lot of people to do it. Some people don't like to send super chats or super stickers. If you want to send a donation to the channel, Venmo is right on your screen right there at RobL813. And I do appreciate for everybody. There's about 4 people that send donations to the channel through the Venmo, and I do appreciate that. Just giving people other options because people have been asking me that they would rather send it through Venmo, and I understand that. And that's great. So I appreciate all the donations during this live stream today, the super chats, super stickers, and of course the Venmo donations through the channel. So we're almost done with the game. It's a lot less. It's 2-hour game right now, give or take, right? Let's see. It's game started at 4:07, 5:07. It's about 2.5 hour game. Not bad. As long as they don't tie it and we go to extras. Hopefully we don't have that situation. Yeah, Joe, it was really crowded when we saw each other at City last year. And I think you were with your brother, if I'm not mistaken. So it was kind of like everybody was like going their own way. Joe, no, as long as it's not Coors Light, it sucks. Coors Light is terrible. But anything else is fine. All right, so bottom of the ninth. Robinson on the mound to save the 1-run ball game that the Mets took the lead in the 7th.
One-run game this season. We'll try and do that this afternoon. With David Robertson going to the mound for the bottom of the ninth. That's like shifts in the night. The Mets and A's. Robertson been practically perfect this year. 6 of the 3rd scoreless innings, no walks, 8 strikeouts. And he faces Carlos Carrasco leading off.
All right, here's David Robinson.
Takes his first breaking ball outside for ball 1.
Robinson began his career. He literally could get things out with just 1 pitch. And now he's shaping 3 or 4.
All right, here we go. Let's get the save, guys.
Straight fastball, straighter anyway.
He's been working on throwing the straight.
Just have that cutter and curveball combination. Ramirez 0 for 1. He's also been hit by a pitch and walked.
Nice pitch.
The slider, and it's 1-2. It's Avery Ruiz on deck, and then Tony Kemp for the A's at the bottom of the ninth. Who had chances each of the last 2 innings with runners in scoring position. Rally out of Ottavino to get out of it. Breaking ball down to the left.
And it's a shit. Crappy hit. Leadoff hit for the A's. It was a good pitch, just got it off the end of the bat and got it into left field. All right, come on.
I think it's the backup catcher, Shea Langoliers, who runs pretty well for a catcher.
Remember in his last at bat, a ball over his head almost, he struck out on this breaking ball. He was able to stay back just.
A's are not making it easy today.
Up into left field.
Langoliers, the last man left on Mark Counsey's bench, comes in to run, carrying the tying run. He stole 3 bases against Ottavino in the 8th. Robertson not nearly as easy to run on. That's a plank through bunt.
Come on, David.
Ruiz up there. He's been on base 3 times today. A single and 2 times he's been hit by a pitch. And he does bunt. It's a foul ball in the opposite batter's box.
All right, go. Looking for the bunt here to try to get him in scoring position.
It's interesting too many teams sacrificing down a run at the bottom of the ninth.
Maybe because home, and maybe because they're just trying to find a way to win these A's. Guys who bunt for base hits are not always good at sacrificing for base hits. Sacrificing.
They blow it on the grass. Ruiz against squares.
It's a good bunt. All right, it's a sack bunt. Got the runner in scoring position. 1 out.
My way of looking at it is this, Ryan. If you are the A's, your best chance to win this game is by scoring 2 runs in the ninth, not by sending the game to extra innings.
I agree with you.
The deeper the game goes, the more the Mets' depth plays in their favor.
Well, got kind of lucky there. Got that off the end of the bat, popped it up, but didn't have enough on it for anyone to catch it in the air.
Time run in scoring position.
Come on, David.
And 0 for 2 in his career against Robertson. He's fastball for a strike.
Maybe Kansei is thinking that Robertson's the last big bullet the Mets have out the bullpen. Get this game tied, win it in the 10th.
Jake, I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's 0 for 4 today.
Nice block by Alvarez. Keeping that in front of him.
Nice job. Alvarez catches that on the wrist. Keep it in front of him. Have to scoop a little more towards that center that, so it doesn't carry him off to the left or right.
And looking for his first hit of this series. He's been 0 for 7. Langoliers the pinch runner at second. And Kev dribbles one out in front of the plate. Alvarez bounces on this one.
All right, 2 outs.
And Langoliers moves over to third.
Going on third, 2 outs now. 1 more out. Come on.
So the A's are down to their final out. The time run 90.
We do, Frank. They got to put him on the 40-man to put him on the 26-man now.
Nice plays.
Oh, 1 more out.
Shows quickness, getting to the ball and making the accurate throw. Not hard plays, but not easy as well.
Remember, Smith's first at bat as a pitcher in the 7th. He got called for a clock violation for a second strike, and then he struck out. And Alvarez didn't realize the first was strike 3, and he made the line throw. Alonso had to dive to the bag to meet Smith there.
All right, so Hefner's going to the mound right now, having a discussion with Robertson, Guillermo, and Alvarez. Yeah, Ken, 2 plays. He looks good coming for them balls and taking control. Because as a young kid, you just think he wouldn't, but that's a nice play. Again, he hasn't had no problem defensively so far. It's no problem with the defense. All right. Man on third, 2 outs, 1 run lead for the Mets.
Chance here for Kevin Smith. Langoliers at third with 2 out. Last of the night. Foul ball. Slider, nothing. Robertson bidding for his third save of the year. Emil Smith waiting on an 0-1 pitch. And there was that slider.
That was not a good pitch, but he got away with that. 0-2. Oof. That was a ball that could have went over the wall. All right, got away with it. See if he puts him away here. Good call, Mike. 2 strikes is risky, but you never know.
0-2 from Robertson to Smith. He struck him out and the ball game is over.
Oh, they called a pitch violation.
Against Robertson. Oh, wow. Looked like the ball game was going to be over on strike 3. Robertson called for the clock violation.
Oh.
The game continues.
And there you go. Pitch clock violation. Let's see if it's happened, if it's true. Yeah.
It was late. It was late, though.
Now it's 1-2 to Kevin.
All right. Well. Strike 3 call. Put it in the books. There you go. Mets take the series. David Robinson pumped up, pissed off. We take the series and look for the sweep tomorrow. 3-2, Mets win, baby. There you go. Wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. There you go. Robinson is not happy. But put it in the books. Mets 9-6 on this. What is it? Yes, 9-6 on the season. Get the win on Jackie Robinson Day. 9-6 is the record for the Mets. Mets pull out another series victory and look for the sweep tomorrow in Oakland with Max Scherzer on the mound. Wasn't pretty, wasn't easy. Mets came back late in the 7th. Mark Hanna ties the game with a solo home run, and Brandon Nimmo with a clutch 2-out RBI double to give the Mets a 3-2 lead. 9-6 on the season for the Mets. 3-12 for Oakland. 5 hits for the Mets, 5 hits for the A's. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Scherzer on the mound to look for the sweep against the A's. Everybody who's going to watch the Knicks game and is watching the Knicks game, enjoy the rest of the game. Hopefully the Knicks pull out a victory. Once again, guys, final score, 3-2, Mets over the A's. Late comeback for the Mets and a save by David Robinson to get that win for the Mets. 3 games over 500 for the Mets. Everybody, thank you for tuning in for another watch party, Mets A's. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Once again, final score 3-2 Mets. See you guys tomorrow. As always, Mets fans, let's go Mets. See you next time, guys. Nice win by the Mets. Good night, guys.
Let's go!